on the outside corner. A called strike 2 to Bailey. After Roberts, it is the center fielder Sam Wabnitz in the number 6 spot. Batting 7th is Finn Horowitz. The 8 hitter is shortstop Camian Gonzalez, and batting 9th in right field, Peyton Corwin. Again with a breaking pitch, Paulson misses low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Bailey. So a change in that lineup for Jefferson head coach John Lowry Sr., moving Cullen Horowitz up after he was intentionally walked 3 out of 4 at-bats yesterday. 1-2 pitch high and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And you didn't mention what happened in the other at-bat.
Well, that was the very first at-bat and the very first pitch that he would see. That was the bottom of the first inning after Bailey had walked, and that was the 2-run home run over the left field fence. 2 ball, 2 strike delivery, a ground ball back up the middle, relatively slowly hit, moving over to his left and fielding in front of the second base bag, Jack Reisenweber, but his throw to first glances off the glove of the first baseman Caleb Edwards, and safe at first is Connor Bailey. Not a good start there for Martinsburg, as we'll end up with, I believe, an E3. I mean, that was a good throw from Reisenweber.
That is a very catchable ball.
Yep, whatever reason, Edwards just could not bring it in. He's kind of looking at the glove right now as he will get ready to hold Connor Bailey on, reaching with 1 down. It brings up Reagan Ollinger, the senior designated hitter, number 3 hitter in the order. Matt, you brought up a good point as we were getting everything set up, and initially, as the first pitch, a fastball on the outside corner for a strike, we had everything set and thought we were ready to go just before the pregame show. One of our main pieces of equipment crapped out, if you will. And when we were working hard to get that all taken care of, Matt, great job. Here is the runner on the move with a pitch to the plate. It misses for a ball, and the throw down not in time as Bailey gets the stolen base.
Yeah, looking at the adjustment to the lineup, Horowitz in that leadoff spot, and while you may think, okay, if nobody's on, it's an easy idea just to intentionally walk, but not so easy with Bailey and Ollinger behind that. 31 walks to just 6 strikeouts, and both guys hitting above 335 on the season, so not easy outs, and guys have put the baseball in play.
And speaking of, the 1-1 pitch grounded into the hole at short. Nice backhand stab by Reisenweber, who plants and throws to first and in time to get him. Ollinger will ground out 6-3, but it does advance Connor Bailey from second to third.
And I tell you, as a former first baseman, that is one of the simplest, hardest plays to make. After you have one just glance off your glove that you know you should have hauled in that next one, that is going through your mind, and hopefully that's the last one he's got to worry about for Caleb Edwards, because just settle in now. I know a big situation, the nerves are running. You don't want this to be your last game of the season.
Zach Rose, the batter, and he takes strike 1. Loaded up for that one, but did not swing. Count 0-1 to the senior pitcher in the cleanup spot. Left-hand batter, right-hand pitcher on the mound. Looking at that runner at third, Paulson delivers. Tries to work that outside corner, but missed away with ball 1. Strike. 2 outs with a runner in scoring position at third. And this top half of the first opening in a similar fashion to Martinsburg's top of the first yesterday. Breaking ball on that outside corner for a strike. Again, Rose loaded up like he was ready to swing, but then took that pitch, and it's 1-2. Joe Paulson trying to get out of it without any further damage. Martinsburg yesterday got a single with 1 out, and ultimately a couple of strikeouts ended the inning. Now that runner that reached on the single stole second, went to third on a wild pitch, and was left there. Here it was a 1-out error, then a stolen base, a ground ball out, getting that runner to third, and Zach Rose at the plate awaiting the 1-2 delivery. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. He got him. Great first for Joe Paulson. And Martinsburg able to work around that 1-out error, leaving the runner stranded at third. We are through a half an inning. Let's take a 60-second break and then come back. It is Jefferson 0, Martinsburg coming to the plate.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
This is Ben Copenhaver, your local alarm professional at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Did you know that home break-ins are 6% more likely during the day? That's right. The bad guys know when you're away, and they are smarter than you think. Dynamark Atlantic Security has the security solutions for you. Don't commit the error when the game is on the line. Phone me today at 304-671-2158 to learn how to play good defense against the bad guys. Dynamark Atlantic Security. Call today at 304-671-2158.
No score as we go to the bottom half of inning number 1 for Martinsburg. Landon Sifford, the left fielder, is in the leadoff spot. He'll be followed by the second baseman, Hudson Clement. Batting third at short is Jack Reisenweber. In the cleanup spot, right fielder, Isaiah Morris. The number 5 hitter, first baseman, Caleb Edwards. Hitting 6, the designated hitter, Jake Zittel. He's in the true DH role for the starting pitcher, Joe Paulson. Shine Knotts is in center. He'll bat 7th. Hitting 8th, third baseman, Michael Lupus, and the number 9 hitter, catcher Matthew Asanovich. Well, as we were saying, thanks to everyone. Matt, great job. Spencer, Colin back at the studio, John Alderton with the camera. Everybody doing just a great job to be able to make sure that we got on for the first pitch. But we did fail to mention thank you to athletic director, the Turtle, Davis Moore, and Aaron Byler, the head coach, for making sure that the game didn't start until 7:11. Those extra 11 minutes were crucial to us getting on for that first pitch.
Zach Rose on the mound for Jefferson. He is 5-1 on the year, a 4.42 ERA, just 31 2/3 inning of work, though. Not quite the senior season I think he was imagining on the mound to this point, but a win tonight would go a long way in sending them to the state tournament, so I'm sure he would love to get the win tonight in what is his 9th start, his 11th overall appearance.
The lefty on the hill, ready to go as Sifford stands in the right-hand box, and the first pitch of the at-bat a bit low and inside for ball 1. Martinsburg trying to get some offense going, and hopefully early in this one. No runs on 6 hits yesterday, but they put together only 2 hits in 1 inning. Once, that was in the 7th inning. Here's a strike to Sifford as the count evens up 1-1. They had a hit in the first, a hit in the second, a hit in the fourth, a hit in the 6th, but that problem was not being able to string them together and take advantage of some walks. Pitch on the inside corner taken for a strike. Now 1-2 to Sifford. A pair of pitchers, Vadaz and Finn Horowitz, combined for 5 walks. But Martinsburg again couldn't take advantage. They stranded 11 base runners yesterday. 1-2 pitch on the way. Swinging a foul at the plate. That one getting away from Riley Vadaz. Rolls a little bit up that third base line, out into the grass in front of the dirt circle around the plate. And it holds it a ball and 2 strikes.
And you'd like to see, and it hasn't been a bad postseason necessarily, but you look at really 1 through 3 in this order for Martinsburg, and they finished the regular season swinging the bat just about as well as they possibly could. It's slowing down a little bit, bringing those numbers down just a bit so far this postseason.
1-2 pitch high, fastball and a swing and a miss, and Sifford is down on strikes.
And Matt, how many times did we see that early on yesterday with Martinsburg at the plate, chasing those above the letters, up and out of the zone?
20th strikeout of the season for Sifford. Strikeout 49 on the year for Zach Rose. 1 away, base is empty. Here comes Hudson Clement. You talk about those numbers. For both of these teams, the numbers adjust as you get into the postseason. It's just the nature of the game, right? You're playing stiff competition, very meaningful games. Martinsburg averaged 8.4 runs a game offensively through the season as a whole, as the first pitch to Clement is down low for ball 1. Here in the postseason, that's dropped to 4.7 runs per game. And for Jefferson, very similar. Overall, they've scored 261 runs in 29 games, breaks out to 9 runs a game, but in the postseason, down by 3 to 6 runs a game. 1-no strike pitch, bounced foul, first base side. That one over towards the Jefferson dugout. Now 1-1.
And Matt, one of the numbers that I'm going to, as we have a jog down to first, we have a catcher interference.
Must have been the call. There it is.
Okay, that's the second one we've seen in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I can't remember the last time we saw 1 in the season. We've now seen 2 in the last month.
So catcher's interference, meaning that as Clement was swinging, he made contact with the glove of Riley Vadaz, and that contact may have been the reason for Clement being late on making contact and bouncing that one foul. Catcher's interference automatically advancing the base runner. So a runner at first, 1 down, and it brings up Jack Reisenweber, the senior shortstop. Zach Rose to the plate, misses outside with a fastball, ball one.
Going back to, again, yesterday's game, one of the numbers that's got to change for Martinsburg. 11 runners left on. Matt, 7 of those in scoring position.
Well, they've got a one-out base runner here at first base. 1-0 pitch due to Reisenweber. Here it comes, a little down and in, and it's 2-0. Isaiah Morris due next for Martinsburg. Dogs coming in at 22-8, winners of 4 of their last 5, 16 of their last 19. Rose lifts the leg, throws over to first, and had Clement frozen for just a moment before diving back in. Wasn't really leaning towards second.
No, just kind of froze.
Yep.
Didn't quite start to get that secondary lead yet. And most runners at first base, when that lefty picks the front foot up, they'll kind of lean back towards the bag just to make sure.
And Clement leaning, and the throw over, and in time they got him.
That time did not lean and started to get that secondary lead, and that's going to be a frustrating one for Coach Byler as he's now looking out towards the outfield as Clement makes his way back over. Hey, you froze the first time, which means you should have your head on a swivel here and make sure he's not going to do the same thing again. And what'd you do? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
So Clement goes back to the dugout. 2 outs in the inning. Bases now empty. A 2-0 pitch due to Reisenweber. Here it comes, and that's a strike on the inside corner. By the way, you didn't give the umpiring crew yet, did you?
I did not.
Well, let's do it. Dave Boyd calling balls and strikes behind the plate with Neil Rymanschneider at first. 2-1 on the way. This one hit on a line into the gap in right center field. Has a chance to get to the fence, and it will. Reisenweber motoring towards second. He'll get there standing with a double. And now, how big is the pickoff?
Yeah, how big is that base running blunder? That ball hit very well opposite field off the bat of Jack Reisenweber. That is easily going to score the speedy Hudson Clement all the way from first. So that's a tough one to sit on right now for Martinsburg.
Double number 13 on the season for Reisenweber, puts himself in scoring position with 2 away and brings up Isaiah Morris. And Matt, yesterday when you look back to the 7 runs for Jefferson, 5 of the 7 came with 2 outs in the inning. Let's see if Martinsburg can find a little 2-out magic as Isaiah Morris is issued the intentional walk. So Morris in the cleanup spot for Martinsburg takes his spot at first. Reisenweber is at second, 2 on 2 outs, and it brings up Caleb Edwards. And hang on, Dave Boyd.
I think there was a time for Morris to get the batting gloves off in his back pocket.
All right.
He may have called time at first base.
He is now ready. Bo Bartley, first base coach, and the head coach, Aaron Byler, in his 3rd season down in that third base coach's box, looking for win number 70. The loss yesterday keeps his record at 69 wins, now 30 losses. 3 consecutive 20-plus win seasons. Edwards ready. First pitch of the at-bat. Belt-high fastball on the outer edge for strike 1. Big opportunity for the junior first baseman, number 5 hitter in the order, hitting .329, does have a home run, 23 driven in. Next pitch from Rose. That one missing down low. Reisenweber, huge secondary lead, has to dive back in as Vidaz throws behind him at second base. Count 1-1 to Edwards.
And I question that throw in that situation with 2 outs. I mean, at the high school level, at any level of baseball, he's got to have such a huge secondary lead for anybody's arm to throw behind a runner like that at second.
The 1-1 pitch is due. Roberts playing behind the runner at first with 2 on. The pitch to the plate cut on and missed, and it's now 1-2.
And Edwards yesterday, even with strikeouts to walk, now 1 more in that strikeout category, 18 strikeouts to 17 walks on the season.
Well, and you would have heard Coach Byler in the pregame show talking about the 9 strikeouts yesterday and saying we can't have that today. And as we bring that up, a swing and a miss at the 1-2 high fastball. Edwards down on strikes. 2 Ks in the inning for Zach Rose, pitching out of the jam after the catcher's interference, a pickoff, a double, an intentional walk, and Martinsburg will leave a pair, including 1 in scoring position. Heading to inning number 2 when we go Faulkner Park. It's Jefferson nothing, Martinsburg nothing.
A reputation for caring, a legacy of service. At Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, it's been our story since 1880. A family-owned business, we support the needs and wishes of families. We offer traditional services, as well as many options for cremation, customized remembrances, and pre-planning. Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations retains its family atmosphere and stays true to its roots. Contact us for advanced planning or at your time of loss. We're here when you need us.
This is Matt Miller, along with my wife, Dale.
As homeowners, we've been through the mortgage process several times, and each time we went to Mark and Cheryl Savitt at the Mortgage Center.
They treat you like family with personal one-on-one service, walking with you through the process from application to settlement.
Plus, low interest rates and closing costs.
The Mortgage Center is on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Phone 304-267-9040.
Or online at mortgagefinancing.com. NMLS number 237527, equal housing lender.
No score as we go to the top of the second inning with Sammy Roberts, number 5 hitter in the Jefferson order to get things started, facing Joe Paulson. The Martinsburg starter threw 16 pitches, 10 for strikes in that first inning. Had a runner reach on an error, but did not give no walks, 1 strikeout. And the first pitch to Roberts missing, ball 1. Roberts, a .359 hitter coming in, takes ball 2 down low and outside. No home runs, 15 runs driven in. It's 23 hits in 64 at-bats. Paulson working from the first base side of that pitching rubber, misses down low and outside with this one. And it's 3 balls and no strikes.
Roberts yesterday did get on twice. Once was an error, and once he did draw a walk on 4 pitches, and a pitch away from doing that here. Probably would have had a single against most teams. He hit a liner into right as he takes the old automatic here. But it was a heck of a play by Jordan Camby in right field yesterday to rob him of a hit and then throw behind the runner to get him at first base.
3-1 pitch on the way. Strike 2 on the outer edge. Count has gone full. And Matt, again, if we'd have had a chance in our pregame show that got wiped out by the technical difficulties, we'd have heard John Lowry talk about the defense of Martinsburg in that first inning. Breaking pitch called strike 3. Roberts caught looking, is down on strikes for the first out.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was the last 2 pitches in that at-bat for Joe Paulson. If he can live right there as he hit one on the outside corner with the fastball, exact same location as with a breaking ball for the strikeout. If he can live right there, it's going to be a successful day on the bump for him.
1 out, nobody on for the junior center fielder, number 6 hitter Sam Wapnitz, and he will take a strike on the inside corner. Back to Coach Lowry. He talked about that first inning and said, hey, give the shortstop credit. That was Reisenweber who made the leaping grab on the line drive from Allinger as this pitch misses outside and low. Count 1 ball, 1 strike. But then he talked about the diving catch from Jordan Camby out in right field, and he said, hey, we could have, and maybe only had 1 out or even nobody out in that first inning. So he credited Martinsburg in that regard. 1-1 pitch missing, 2 balls and a strike. Paulson kind of gathering his thoughts, falling behind in this at bat. Toes that pitching rubber again and comes up and in with ball 3. So with getting just where he wants them, at least here in second, he did battle back, put 2 nice to play. Here is a called strike on the 3-1, and it's full again, 3-2.
And pretty similar location. So again, if he consistently find that spot, he's going to be real successful today.
Morris playing relatively deep wouldn't have gotten there either, I don't think. So the pop out to second, 2 down, nobody on for Finn Horowitz, younger brother of the Bear. Takes the first pitch outside, ball 1. Finn, a year younger, a junior, starting second baseman, number 7 hitter. Takes a pitch that misses outside for ball 2. Horowitz 13 hits, 45 at bats. That's a .289 average. A couple of home runs and 19 driven in. And Paulson going to take a moment and fix a wardrobe malfunction, you might say. The shirt tail coming out a little too far. Got to feel comfortable on the mound, right? He is now ready to go. Has glove in hand. Into the windup, and the fastball popped foul out of play. First base side. 2 balls and a strike. The glass sound effect. Where that one landed must have hit a bottle somewhere in the weeds. No automobile windshields or anything hurt by that one. I love the sound effects of P.O. Faulkner. 2 ball, 1 strike delivery. Low and outside, goes through to the backstop. Count now at 3 balls and a strike.
Each batter this inning has now seen a 3-1 count, but so far Paulson's been able to work his way out of 2 jams before this. See if he's got some more magic in that right hand here.
You know the cheers and jeers segments that sports shows do. We gave a lot of cheers to help us get on the air when we did. As the 3-1 pitch sharply grounded towards the third baseman to his left, Lupus has it and makes that throw to first to get him. Pretty nice scoop down around his ankles while moving to his left. Side is retired in order. And we will go to the bottom half of inning number 2 when we return to P.O. Faulkner Park. Jefferson nothing and Martinsburg nothing.
Craving lunch or dinner? The Cider Press restaurant inside Taylor's Farm Market has what you're craving. Awarded one of the 101 most unique places to eat in West Virginia, the Cider will fill you up with their delicious fresh orchard panini, mouth-watering smoker burger, farmer's daughter Cobb salad, and more. The Cider Press also serves a wide selection of craft beer and hard ciders. The Cider Press, serving lunch and dinner daily and where the food is fresh. You'll feel right at home. Now offering online ordering at Cider Press Deli and Grill.
Carpal tunnel syndrome affects 13 million Americans and left untreated can cause long-term debilitation. WVU Medicine Jefferson Medical Center recently became the first hospital in the region to offer carpal tunnel release with ultrasound guidance using the new Sonex Health SX1 microknife. CTR surgery is an outpatient procedure and most patients return to normal activities within 3 to 6 days. For more info, contact WVU Medicine Board Certified Orthopedic Surgeon Brad Wright at 304-725-2663.
No score as we go to the bottom half of inning number 2. Jake Zittel will get it started out of the number 6 spot in the order. I was starting to say as Finn Horowitz grounded out 5-3 there, we were giving the cheers and jeers, and we'd given a lot of cheers to all of those who had, really helped to get us on, including the athletic director and head coach for the late start. A slight jeer. I'm not going to give him a full one, but Chuck Lynch doing the PA zoomed through the starting lineups as quickly as he could. It was like a race was going on. I think that's probably because I told him if we couldn't get on the air in time, I was willing to take off my shirt and go running across the field just to slow things down so that we could, wait and make sure we got everything on TV 10 tonight. But so I think he was racing through, hoping for that ugly sight. Thankfully, that did not have to happen. We did get on, and here we are, no score, going to the bottom of the second, and Jake Zittel, designated hitter for the Dogs, standing in. Zach Rose ready, first pitch, fastball, outside, ball 1. Rose in that first inning, 15 pitches, 10 of those 4 strikes. Did give up a double, had a runner reach on a catcher's interference and issued an intentional walk. Pitch down low for ball 2, albeit in high school baseball, you don't have to throw any pitches for an intentional walk.
Which I like. Again, the emphasis now is on keeping pitchers' arms healthy, and there's no reason for those 4 pitches if they're not necessary.
2-0 fastball, a strike on the outer edge. 2-1 now to the junior DH. Hitting .400, no homers, 16 driven in. Rose ready, and the delivery. Just off that outside edge this time, and it's 3-1. Zittel's got a great eye at the plate. How about 21 walks? It's just 3 shy of his 24 hits in 60 at-bats. 3-1 pitch. That one high and away. Give him another base on balls. Second of the ball game, 19th of the season for Rose, albeit one of those intentional. Martinsburg with the leadoff base runner on for Shine Knotts. So they've put a little pressure on this Jefferson team. That's, again, another comment that you would have heard from Coach Byler of Martinsburg if we'd have been able to get that on in the pregame, because he talked about yesterday he felt like they never really pressured Jefferson at all. Right now, able to put some pressure on in that first, and the leadoff man on here in the second gives him that opportunity again as Shine Knotts misses, or takes, I should say, with a pitch that misses high. And now John Lowry Sr. making that slow stroll out to the mound. Matt, how about the numbers? We keep talking about it. There aren't many coaches that get to 1,000 wins, period. But then to reach 1,000 more wins than games that you have lost is absolutely incredible. Coming into this one, 1,358 wins, just 355 losses, and 3 ties.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, to have anything close to those numbers is amazing. And to do it at the level he's been doing it, looking for a state championship in what, the 6th straight decade? Or 5th?
Sixth decade it would be, and would be the 13th title. And they've got 4 in which they finished as a runner-up. So they're trying to get back to a title game for a 17th time in his 48 years with Jefferson. Conference on the mound wrapped up. Rose ready in the 1-0 pitch right down the middle for a strike.
Well, whatever the conference was, it worked.
There it is. Seems to do that a lot, doesn't it?
Hey, throw a strike. All right.
I think that's one of the reasons why baseball puts those limits in, that you can only go out so many times. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch due. Runner at first. Zittel has his lead. Here comes the delivery, and it's a bunt pushed up the first base line, but foul. And the count now 1-2.
Yeah, delayed square to bunt right there. Wasn't showing all the way. And again, with that delayed square, a lot of times that batter will spin too quickly and again end up kind of pushing that bunt. Makes it a little bit harder to control.
And again, not necessarily a sacrifice. I mean, it wasn't like he had squared around ready to give himself up. Was trying to push that up the first base line. And with your pitcher, who has now stepped off the rubber and will reset for the next pitch, but Zach Rose, as a left-hander, is going to tend to fall a little more off the third base side. And with your first baseman holding the runner on, if you pushed a bunt up the first base line, you might have a chance to reach. Swing and a miss. It gets by the catcher. First base was occupied, but it will be either a pass ball or wild pitch to advance Jake Zittel, who is able to move up to second base. Knotts did not foul it away, but in the swing and maybe the pitch location, Riley Vadaz fooled just a little bit, and it went by him, and that allows Zittel to reach.
Yeah, didn't start anywhere close to where that ball finished up and in. And he was kind of set up lower in the zone, not necessarily off the plate, but I think there was some miscommunication between the pitcher and the catcher there.
I think it still goes down as a passed ball to advance the runner, and Michael Lupus now the batter, and he almost got hit by the pitch.
Good pick by Vadaz behind the plate, though.
Yeah, there it goes, especially after that last one that got by. So 1 ball, no strikes to the sophomore third baseman. The 1-0 pitch to the plate. Strike on the outside corner now, 1-1. Fun watching these guys make their way up through from the 10 to 12-year-old Little League All-Star tournaments right up through now the high school level. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery. Lupus, one of those on the Martinsburg All-Stars back in the day. Takes outside, that's ball 2. Lupus hitting .289. Matt, 22 hits in 76 at-bats, but also 24 walks. Don't see that often. 2-1 delivery. Got a piece of that one fouling it. I think it ticked off the mid of Vadaz and then to the backstop.
I think there's one more Lupus that should be coming up here before too long. I'm trying to think. 2 years ago in Little League, I think there was a Lupus. I know obviously the coaching staff full of them, but I think there's still one more little Lupus coming through.
Yeah, a prominent name in Martinsburg Little League. 2 ball, 2 strike pitch. Due now to Michael Lupus. Runner at second with his lead. Shortstop Gonzalez had ducked in behind him, now gets into position as the pitch to the plate. A fastball that misses high. By the way, if you're tuning in and you're used to our multi-camera angles, part of our issue was we had a unit that went down on us, and we had to work only through that one camera. Doesn't allow us a chance to use the multiple views. Pitch to the plate, taken for a called strike 3. It got away from Vadaz, who throws on to first, and just in time to get him. Throw was a little high, but Lupus is out. It's recorded 2-3. It is a strikeout, 4th of the ball game now for Rose. 2 outs in the inning, but as a result of that pitch bouncing away or getting in and out of the mid of Vadaz, Zittel with heads-up base running goes to third.
Yeah, Zittel able to get a good secondary lead and didn't go till he made sure the throw was going down to first. That is a good piece of base running by the lineman out there.
Brings up Matthew Asanovich. Number 9 hitter in the order. Swings through a fastball for strike 1.
And he was fooled. He was about an hour late on that swing.
Maybe only a half an hour.
He was late.
He was late, that's for sure. Late to the party. A 1 pitch due. I'm imagining Rose is coming back with that fastball again. Here it comes, and it is the fastball down low. Vadaz blocking that pitch. Count now 1 ball, 1 strike. How about Zittel? He drew the walk, went to second on a pass ball, moves to third on a pass ball. Now a pass ball or wild pitch could score our first run. No score, bottom of the second inning. 1-1 delivery. Swing and a foul, back out of play, just to the right of us. Count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pretty nice crowd on hand again for this one, as Martinsburg looks to extend this best-of-3 series to a decisive game tomorrow. Jefferson wants to wrap it up and head back to Charleston for the first time since, 2017. Pitch to the plate, down low and outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes, and I could stand corrected. It was actually 2016.
Washington
yeah.
was the representative in 2017.
Yep, Washington, then Martinsburg, then Hedgesville in 2019. 2-2 delivery, lined the other way, but foul down the right field line. Holding at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good cut by Asanovich, but again, just a tad too late.
We mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, with Martinsburg leaving 7 men in scoring position last night. This run at third, well, would only make it 1-0, I think would go a long way.
Yeah, they left 2 in the first inning and a runner at second base. 2 ball, 2 strike delivery. Off-speed pitch, chopped foul at the plate. Nice job by Asanovich just to make contact. That was right in on his hands by the time he swung and made contact. And he is choked up, an inch or so on the bottom of that bat. Here comes that 2-2 delivery. A ground ball on the right side of the infield. Horowitz over to his left. He fields it low, throw, but a great stab by Sammy Roberts at first. Boy, almost threw that one away, but Roberts making a nice play. The ground out goes 4-3, and Martinsburg will strand a runner. They've left 3 through their first 2 at-bats and 2 in scoring position. We are through 2 complete. It remains Jefferson nothing and Martinsburg nothing.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
This is Ben Copenhaver, your local alarm professional at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Did you know that home break-ins are 6% more likely during the day? That's right. The bad guys know when you're away, and they are smarter than you think. Dynamark Atlantic Security has the security solutions for you. Don't commit the error when the game is on the line. Phone me today at 304-671-2158 to learn how to play good defense against the bad guys. Dynamark Atlantic Security. Call today at 304-671-2158.
We do welcome you back in to P.O. Faulkner Park. Matt Miller along with Matt Crawford. John Alderton on our TV10 camera. Spencer Dupuis, our on-site producer. Colin McLaughlin, our engineer, back at the studio. We are going to the top half of inning number 3, and right now a pitcher's duel, if you will, through the first 2. No score, and in fact just 1 hit. Martinsburg's Jack Reisenweber with a double in the bottom of the first, and that has been it. Back in with your play-by-play. Here's Matt.
Thank you, sir. 2 strikeouts so far for Joe Paulson on the day. Matt, you mentioned just 1 hit, and that was in the first inning. It was the double for Jack Reisenweber. Martinsburg has also added 2 walks. Joe Paulson has not warranted a walk yet, along with those 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, the only base runner for Jefferson, a 1-out error in the first inning.
Batter will be Camion Gonzalez, 8-9-1, the 3 due up for the Cougars in this half inning. So it'll go Gonzalez, Corwin, and Cullen Horowitz. Yes, if you missed the first pitch of the game, it is Horowitz in that leadoff spot. First pitch to Gonzalez is a breaking ball. Misses well outside for ball 1. Gonzalez, a .345 hitter on the season. 2 home runs, 18 runs driven in, 20 strikeouts, 8 walks. Paulson works to the first base side of that rubber, now working out of the windup in the fastball. Same result, missing well off the plate, ball 2.
Well, and Matt, the cat-mouse game, as you mentioned, Horowitz in that leadoff spot. He had the 2-run home run in the first yesterday, then got intentionally walked the next 3 times up.
The 2-0 pitch in, that one catching the outside corner, so Paulson slowly working his way back towards that strike zone, got the outside corner here, and pretty consistent with that spot all night. 2-1 the count. Here comes that 2-1 pitch, a fastball. This one fouled off over top of our heads. Count even at 2-2. And Matt, you got to credit Paulson so far. He's gotten behind in counts, but has done a good job of working his way back in. Again, hasn't allowed a walk, but it's been in several 3-1 or even 3-0 counts in this game so far.
Yep, but has managed to work through that, retiring 5 consecutive batters since the error allowed Bailey to reach with one out in the first.
Here comes the break-even pitch, a curveball. Called strike 3 on a nifty curveball for Joe Paulson.
Yeah, he is hitting his spots right now when he needs to. I mean, not that he's doing it consistently, right? Because he's gotten deep into some counts. He's fallen behind the hitters, but when he is needed to make a pitch, he has been able to pinpoint that location.
The batter is Peyton Corwin. The lefty stands in. Kind of a closed stance with that front foot inside of that back foot. Takes ball 1 inside, nicking off the glove of Asanovich. Getting back to the backstop with nobody on. No harm, no foul. Michael Loop is playing in on the grass at third base right now. Everybody else playing normal. They're Reisenweber playing a few steps in from where he may normally play. Here comes the 1-0 pitch, a fastball. That one high and outside, ball 2.
Corwin, good speed, and especially coming out of that left-hand batter's box. Puts him another step or 2 closer to first.
Here comes that 2-0 pitch, a breaking ball. Well above the letters and outside, ball 3. So another 3-0 count. That is now the second 3-0 count in the last 2 innings. And the third 3-ball count as Corwin squares around the bunt and pulls back as it's a base hit, ball 4. Corwin will sprint his way down to first base and not hold the bag.
First walk issued by Paulson, giving him 27 now on the season.
Back to the top of the order, it's Cullen Horowitz. And with a man on, what is Coach Byler going to do? He's going to give him the free pass to first base.
Well, there you go. And so that's where I was going earlier when I started to tell this story, that when Horowitz got put into that top spot to try to prevent situations like this where he'd be intentionally walked, I was just going in to get the interview with Coach Byler, and he said, I guess you saw the lineup for Jefferson, because he had already had it. They had exchanged lineups, and I said yes, and he went, now what? You know, it's like, I've never seen a situation like this where now, you know, I said the ball's in your court, and he said, I'm not sure I want it. He did pitch to Horowitz in that first and got the fly out into shallow right, but electing not to pitch to him here with a runner on.
Time called at the plate by Connor Bailey, and yeah, I'm not sure there's anybody out there that wants to get in a battle of the baseball mind with John Lowry Sr. Out of the stretch now with 2 runners on is Joe Paulson. Looks in, now checks back at second base. Here comes the first pitch to Bailey, a breaking ball. That one misses inside for ball 1. Bailey reached on an error his first at-bat and got all the way to third. The game last night, a single and a walk. Also had a sacrifice fly to right to drive in a run. Come around to score a run as well. This one a ground ball to the left side. Lucas has it, fires over to second 4-1. Here's the turn. Not in time, coming around third quickly, coming in on the slide. It gets past the catcher, Asanovich, and heads up base running by Peyton Corwin as he comes around to score. Nobody going to get the baseball. Rounding second, now going to third. Here comes the throw. Safe at third is Connor Bailey. So heads up base running everywhere for the Jefferson Cougars. They take the lead 1-0.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Hudson Clement should have even tried to turn 2 at second base. That was going to be a very difficult turn to go 5-4-3, and especially with Lupus getting that kind of awkward hop right at the end. But you, again, as you said, give heads-up base running to Peyton Corwin, who said, hey, I'm going for it, as he rounded third, saw that throw going on to first, and forced Martinsburg to make a play, and they couldn't make it.
1-0 in the top of the third. Jefferson leading Martinsburg. Regan Ollinger is the batter. Runner just 90 feet away, standing at third base with 2 down. Here's the first pitch. Lifts this one into right field. Moving back onto is Isaiah Morris. Now a few steps in, and he'll make that catch on the run coming in. Jefferson gets a run here in the top of the third on some heads-up base running by Peyton Corwin. We'll go to the bottom of the third when we come back, see if the Bulldogs can tie it up. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
This is Matt Miller, along with my wife, Dale.
As homeowners, we've been through the mortgage process several times, and each time we went to Mark and Cheryl Savitt at the Mortgage Center.
They treat you like family with personal one-on-one service, walking with you through the process from application to settlement.
Plus, low interest rates and closing costs.
The Mortgage Center is on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Phone 304-267-9040.
Or online at mortgagefinancing.com. NMLS number 237527, equal housing lender. Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078.
Welcome back into P.O. Faulkner Park. We go to the bottom of inning number 3. Jefferson plated a run in the top of the 3rd. They hold the 1-0 lead. For Martinsburg, you look at their stat line so far, and Matt, the story of last night. 3 runners left on so far for Martinsburg, and 2 of those in scoring position so far for the Dogs. They've got to find a way to get guys to cross home plate. Getting them on, yeah, that's nice. And eventually you would imagine they would come through, but you got to find a way to put runs on that scoreboard.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're talking 7 innings last night when you did not score, and you've been through 2, so a full 9-inning game in which Martinsburg has yet to dent that scoreboard. And you got to hope that when they do, you know, they're thinking maybe runs come in bunches.
Back to the top of the order, it's Landon Sifford up for the Dogs. Zach Rose back out for his 3rd inning on the mound, and the first pitch is a fastball that catches the outside edge for strike 1.
Rose has been solid, 37 pitches, 22 for strikes, has given up just 1 hit, but has had to pitch out of some trouble in both innings.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Rose. That one more on the inner 3rd of the plate for strike 2. So working around the zone right now for Zach Rose.
The high strike from Dave Boyd. That letter high strike, and the pitchers have been working it.
Here comes that 0-2 pitch, a fastball, swing and a miss. And Sifford goes down on strikes for the 21st time this year and the 2nd time today.
And strikeout number 5 for Rose, who struck out 2 in the first, 2 more in the second, and gets the first out on a K here in this 3rd, and not what Coach Aaron Byler was looking for. Again, in the pregame, he mentioned 9 Ks yesterday. Not going to win a lot of games if you're not putting the ball in play.
Man, how about 4 strikeouts now just in this series, and the leadoff batter, Landon Sifford. Not what you want by anybody in your lineup, but certainly not the man in the leadoff spot. Batter now is Hudson Clement. Clement awaits the first pitch. Swing and a miss on a good sweeping breaking ball from Rose. Strike 1.
And Clement reached on that unusual catcher's interference back in the 1st.
Then was picked off at first base.
And as a result of that pickoff, Martinsburg does not have a run on the board because the next batter, Jack Reisenweber, doubled to the wall in that gap in right center, and that would have scored a run.
He'll want a fastball low and away, count even at 1. Reisenweber is in the on-deck circle. Isaiah Morris in the hole. 1 down here in the bottom of inning number 3. A beautiful night for baseball here at the ballpark. Out of the stretch, here comes the 1-1 from Rose. Fastball just low, maybe a bit inside as well, ball 2.
Riley Vadaz held that one there for an extended period, hoping that Dave Boyd would bite and call it a strike. He did not.
Clement stands in the back of that right-hand batter's box, that back foot almost on the white chalk, and takes strike 2. That one painting the outside of the plate. Both pitchers have been pretty successful with that call when they've been able to find that area of the zone consistently.
And Clement was on 3 times in 4 at-bats yesterday. Was on in his first at-bat in this one.
Breaking ball called strike 3 at the plate. Another good breaking ball for Zach Rose, and the 2nd strikeout of the inning. Would have that as 6 so far on the game.
Yeah, not getting on in this at-bat. That was a beautiful pitch and froze Clement in that right-hand batter's box. A lot of movement.
Martinsburg trying to avoid going 1-2-3 for the first time in this game. 5 batters came to the plate in the 1st inning, 4 in the 2nd inning. Here comes the first pitch to Reisenweber. That one low, but a good block at the plate for Vadaz. Rose looks in, gets the pitch he wants. Reisenweber awaits. Ready with it. Here comes that 1-0 pitch, a fastball, and a call, strike 1.
Yep, there's that high strike, and again on that outer edge of the plate. Reisenweber took that same type of pitch, though, in his last at-bat and went the other way, and that has Corwin playing over a little more towards the gap this time.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Thought about it, but did not go around, did Reisenweber. It's a called strike at the plate anyway, on location. Jack Reisenweber behind on the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Got to protect.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Rose. Fastball, that one low. For ball 2, counts even at 2. Reisenweber, 28 walks this year, 17 strikeouts, and now a time called, and Badaz and Rose going to have a quick conversation at the mound. Matt, also a elimination game in Hedgesville this evening, but that on the smaller diamond. It is Washington with the 1-0 series lead against Hedgesville in the regional softball playoffs.
Yeah, efforting right now on a score in that one as my game changer pulls up. And it is 8-2 Washington leading Hedgesville in the top of inning number 4.
2-2 pitch misses outside, a breaking ball that just didn't break for Zach Rose. Full count now to Reisenweber. You said 8-2 Washington in that one?
8-2 Washington after a 12-0 Washington win yesterday in game 1.
Payoff pitch on the 3-2. This one fouled off, and we'll do it again. Reisenweber just throwing the bat at that one, trying to protect. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up with this toss from Rose. Isaiah Morris stands in that on-deck circle. He drew an intentional walk his first at-bat. As Reisenweber steps back in, that slightly open stance. Here comes that 3-2 pitch. Fastball low and away, ball 4.
A nice at-bat and walk number 29 on the season for Jack Reisenweber to go along with 37 base hits. He has put together a very good senior season.
Isaiah Morris, a .283 hitter, but the power man in the lineup, 3 home runs and 28 runs driven in. The reason he was given first base his last at-bat. The big lefty stands in, an open stance in that left-hand batter's box. Reisenweber with that lead off first base. Here comes the first pitch to Morris, and it is inside for ball 1.
They did ask him to give it back, though, at the end of that half inning. They gave him first base, but he gave it back at the end.
You got jokes tonight?
I do, man.
Toss back over to first. Back in safe is Reisenweber. And I don't think you've told your joke once this year.
Nope, I've steered clear. We haven't had a lot of bases loaded situations.
We haven't.
To really get into.
I just thought about that. Your riddle that you've told, I'm pretty sure probably every year you've done baseball since hearing that riddle. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball called strike at the knees to Morris. Count even at 1.
And now I'm going to make you tell it because you have brought it up. So.
I don't remember the details. I know how it ends, but you're going to have to fill in the details here. Reisenweber at first gets that lead. Lefty Rose will step over and make the toss to first. Reisenweber in standing up.
Yeah, the very soft toss. Reisenweber was moving back almost on that first motion from Zach Rose.
Yeah, the dugout, I'm sure, saying not his best.
Pretty nice lead right now, though.
Morris takes the 1-1 pitch. That one just below the knees. And I would have that as
2 balls and a strike.
2 balls and a strike, yeah. Just verifying what I had on my sheet. For whatever reason, didn't remember just putting down that second ball. Here comes the 2-1 pitch, and on the outside edge, a called strike 2. Morris, I don't think, agreed with Dave Boyd on that one.
Well, that's part of what makes this lefty-lefty matchup so tough is that arm angle and the way that ball comes sweeping in, and then you go to that outside corner, and it's hard for that left-hand hitter to get out there.
2-2 pitch coming. Fastball inside, back and Morris off the plate, and back-to-back batters now have warranted a 3-2 pitch coming up.
Well, and the walk to Reisenweber gives Martinsburg a chance here with 2 outs.
With it a full count, 2 outs. That means Reisenweber can be on the move with the pitch, and with that, Sammy Roberts going to play off the bag and make it a slightly smaller gap on the right side of the infield. Now he'll step in behind, but Reisenweber was reading that the entire way.
Yeah, there you go. Roberts trying to sneak in, and Rose throwing over, but yeah, Reisenweber having none of it.
Rose looks in, gets the pitch he wants. Reisenweber gets a bigger lead, and now he is on the move with the 3-2. A swing and a miss. Strike 3. Isaiah Morris strikes out for the 18th time this year, and 3 strikeouts in the inning for Zach Rose. 7 on the game. We'll go to the 4th inning when we come back. Jefferson leads Martinsburg 1-0.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
Welcome back into P.O. Faulkner Park. To the fourth inning we go. Matt Crawford, Matt Miller, here's your broadcast team. Spencer Dupuis kind of observing now with our multi-camera action and not working tonight. John Alderton, our main cameraman here, and Colin McLaughlin is back at the studio. Top of the fourth, Zach Rose, Sammy Roberts, and Sam Wabnitz. The three due up. That's 4, 5, 6 in the order for the Cougars. Lefty Rose stands in. Pretty wide stance in that left-hand batter's box. Here's the first pitch. That one inside for ball one.
Matt, pretty easy storyline through the first three innings. Jefferson, 1 run, no hits, no errors, 2 left, 1 in scoring position. Martinsburg, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. They've left 4, 2 in scoring position.
The 1-0 pitch, a hearty cut taken by Zach Rose, is able to get a piece of it, but fouled off right at home plate.
The only run scoring with a 1-out walk, an intentional walk, and then a fielder's choice ground ball in which Peyton Corwin came home to score. There was an error on the play, the errant throw from Caleb Edwards.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch, a breaking ball in for strike 2. That one started on the outside of the zone and really just broke right over the heart of the plate. It's one that if Rose can wait back and let come to him, he's probably going to put a charge in too. Out of the windup, here comes the 1-2 from Paulson. This one fouled off the end of the bat over top of the home bleachers to our left. Now, you mentioned a pretty good crowd here this evening.
Yeah, and very vocal for their teams. We saw it yesterday down at Jefferson, and of course the Jefferson faithful hopeful that they'll celebrate a regional championship. The Martinsburg faithful looking to go back to Sager Field tomorrow.
1-2 pitch, a swing and a miss as Rose chased that one up the ladder a bit, close enough. You got to take a hack at it, but a little too high for him to catch up to. And that would be strikeout number 4 on the game for Joe Paulson. He has at least 1 in each of the first 4 innings.
Yeah, he has certainly come out and pitched well in this must-win situation for Martinsburg.
Batter is Sammy Roberts. Slightly open stance for the righty. Takes a breaking ball outside for ball 1. 45 pitches coming in to this inning for Joe Paulson, so at a pretty good pace so far. Now right around that 50 pitch mark. We've had this is unofficially 52 with this pitch, and that 52nd pitch high and inside for ball 2. Count 2-0 now to Roberts.
Yeah, just missed with that one, and we've seen Paulson throughout this game. Not the recommended way to do it, falling behind hitters, but he's been able to battle back and get outs.
2-0 breaking ball well above the head of Sammy Roberts. Ball 3. And we saw him work back from 3-0 and strike out Roberts the last at bat. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. That one off the plate, ball 4.
Second time he has issued a walk in the game, and each time it's been a 4-pitch walk, and both times it has come with 1 out. Let's hope for Martinsburg's sake it doesn't hurt like it did in that 3rd inning.
Wabnitz some speed at the plate now, and with 1 out, I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to lay down a bunt here and try to beat it out, especially with Lupus playing even with the bag. With the speed of Wabnitz, I may be calling that play here. A throw back over to first, back in safely with plenty of time is Sammy Roberts.
Wabnitz 0 for 1, popped out to second in that 2nd inning.
Paulson comes set. Now again, we'll throw back over, and Roberts not a big lead at first base. He's been back on the head first dive in plenty of time.
No, just a soft toss over from Paulson, not trying to get the out per se, but just letting him know you're thinking of it.
First pitch to Wabnitz. The fastball takes for strike 1. Sonovich started on the outside of the plate, and not the location that was called, but the result was what they wanted, a strike at the plate. Count 0-1 now to Sam Wabnitz. Roberts gets that lead off first base. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Called strike 2 on the outside part of the plate.
There you go. Now Paulson ahead of a hitter, 0-2. Let's see what he'll do to try to put away Wabnitz for the 2nd out of the inning.
Well, I think my bunt prediction is probably out of play here with 2 strikes on the batter. Now another throw back over. A little bit to the left of Caleb Edwards, froze him a bit before sticking that left arm out, making the catch.
Yeah, last thing you want to do is throw one away here. I mean, you go back and look at that run and how it scored in the 3rd inning. This should still be either a 0-0 or even a 1-1 game.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch, a breaking ball. Called strike 3.
Good looking pitch. Again, starting probably out of the strike zone, but then breaking into the top part of that strike zone.
That brings up Finn Horowitz with 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning, a runner on first base.
Matt, earlier we talked about the Region 2 softball final going on. Let's look at some other regional baseball action. There's already a final from today.
First pitch to Horowitz is a breaking ball high inside. Count 1-0.
Up in Region 1, or maybe in this case over in Region 1, Bridgeport knocked off Morgantown 7-3 as earlier they finished the first game of the series that got suspended yesterday, tied 0-0 in the 3rd inning when rains came.
Another throwback over to first, but once again, Roberts back in plenty of time.
So that would mean game 2 of that best of 3 will get pushed to tomorrow, and then if necessary Thursday would be game 3 in that series.
Here comes the 1-0 to Horowitz. This one fouled off the handle right at home plate. 1 ball, 1 strike now to the younger of the Horowitz brothers.
Other finals yesterday in Region 3, St. Albans takes game 1 from Oak Hill 5-2, while in Region 4 it was Hurricane over Cabell Midland 7-2. So they're into their game 2s today, and we'll be checking the scores through the game changer in their next half inning.
Here comes the 1-1 from Paulson, a fastball. Called strike 2. That one a little bit of late movement on it. Again, Hasanovich set up right down the heart of the plate. Ended up sliding a bit to his left. But not much Horowitz is going to do with that pitch, except foul it off, even if he does take a cut. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Sweeping breaking ball outside. Got Horowitz to chase. 3 strikeouts in the inning and 6 total in the last 2 half innings between these 2 teams. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th when we come back. It's still Jefferson leading Martinsburg 1-0.
All right, Matt, when it comes to flooring, you can't beat luxury vinyl. It's waterproof, easy to clean and maintain, extremely durable, and looks great.
Are you nuts? Hardwood flooring's the way to go. It's durable, easy to maintain, matches every decor, and increases the value of your home instantly.
All right, one thing we can agree on is Tripp's Floor Sanding and Berkeley Fashion Flooring. They'll take care of you with great selection, service, and pricing.
Whether it's hardwood or luxury vinyl, call Tripp's at 304-229-7009.
Or visit TrippsFloorSanding.com.
Craving lunch or dinner? The Cider Press restaurant inside Taylor's Farm Market has what you're craving. Awarded one of the 101 most unique places to eat in West Virginia, the Cider will fill you up with their delicious fresh orchard panini, mouth-watering smoker burger, farmer's daughter Cobb salad, and more. The Cider Press also serves a wide selection of craft beer and hard ciders. The Cider Press, serving lunch and dinner daily and where the food is fresh. You'll feel right at home. Now offering online ordering at Cider Press Deli and Grill.com.
Zach Rose back out for his 4th inning on the mound. He got the start for the Cougars today. So far we'd have him at 58 pitches. He's given up 1 hit and has struck out 7 on the day, but also 3 walks through those 7 strikeouts. Matt, do you have some scores from around the state?
Well, I'm efforting for St. Albans and Oak Hill. And unfortunately, it looks like that one, no game changer right now. I don't know if they're having any kind of bad weather, but St. Albans normally has that up, but not live at this moment.
Edwards, Zittel, and Knotts, the 3 due up for Martinsburg. That is 4, 5, 6. Or should I say 5, 6, 7. So I look at the stat sheet. First pitch to Edwards, misses for ball 1. A strikeout victim, his first at-bat, that back in the 1st inning to end the bottom of the 1st. Here comes the 1-0 from Rose, a fastball, and I believe that one fouled off the plate, getting Dave Boyd on his way back. Didn't hear the bat, but I assume the way that one ricocheted did get a piece.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, Dave Boyd taking that one, and you see the respect that catchers and umpires have for one another. Riley Vidaz going out to talk to Zach Rose. That gives Dave Boyd a little extra time. And then Jeff King comes down from third. Neil Ryman-Schneider down from first just to check on him and give him a little extra moment to catch his breath.
And Ryman-Schneider knows how that feels.
Oh.
We were calling a game earlier in the year, and he got a quick one back into the mask.
Yeah, that one was a doozy, and thankfully he came out of that no problem. Finished the game, I'm sure was sore the next morning.
The 1-1 pitch below the knees for ball 2 to Edwards, a 329 hitter coming into today's contest. Looking back at the numbers for Edwards yesterday, did not reach. Here comes the 2-1 pitch, a swing and a miss, strike 2. Again, Edwards just a little behind. And Zach Rose, nothing necessarily overpowering on the mound with the fastball, but it seems like Martinsburg has been behind, so he's doing a very good job of changing up speeds a little bit, changing up the pitches he's throwing. Has done a good job of keeping Martinsburg off balance all night. Ready with the 2-2 pitch. Here it is. That one low in the dirt. Good block by Vidaz. Counts full 3-2.
We do have a score. Hurricane with a 4-2 lead over Cabell Midland in the top of the 7th inning. A Hurricane win, and they will improve to 31-1 going into the state tournament.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad. Decent season.
That's a good way to look at it.
Edwards chokes up on the bat as he awaits the 3-2 pitch. Here is the payoff. This one lifted to the right side of the infield into foul territory. Roberts moving over towards the fence, and he will make the catch with not a whole lot of room to spare. Good job tracking that one to the fence, working back over about a half step to retire Edwards.
Yeah, nice play by Sammy Roberts. As you said, tracked it, made sure of where his location was, how close was he to the fence, and able to make the play.
Brings up Jake Zittle. Zittle a walk in the 2nd inning. Got things started in the bottom of the 2nd with that walk. A 400 hitter on the dot coming into today's action. It's been one of the higher averages on the team throughout the last month or so of the season. First pitch low, and Vidaz, I think, wearing that one a little bit more than he wanted to as that block spinning the head out of the way to use the chest protector. Count 1-0. Zittle 21 walks to 18 strikeouts as he takes strike 1 on the inside corner. Infield playing normal depth, as is the outfield. With the designated hitter for the Dogs. The 1-1 pitch called, strike 2 at the knees.
Well, as you said, Rose mixing his pitches and his locations and keeping those Martinsburg hitters off balance.
Rose looks in, gets the pitch he wants for the 1-2. Ready with it, here it is to Zittle, breaking ball, and that one fouled off, and Jake Zittle can live to see another pitch, just getting a piece of it.
Matt, I do now have a score. St. Albans batting in the top of the 6th inning against Oak Hill, and St. Albans with a 5-3 lead. So St. Albans in the lead, looking to close out that series. Hurricane in the lead, looking to close out that series.
The 1-2 pitch, that one missing out of the zone. Count even now to Jake Zittle. Rose looks in. Break-even pitch on the 2-2. This one off the handle, but driven the other way. Moving over on his Peyton Corwin. Is he going to get to it? He will on the run. In full stride going towards the foul line. Would have been fair if it dropped, but a great defensive play made in right field for Peyton Corwin.
There you see his speed, and that's one of those things you either have or you don't, and he has that speed and was able to track that one down. If he's another, half a step to full step slower, that one's going to be in on the line for a base hit.
Brings up Shine Knotts. Knotts a strikeout victim. His first at-bat was his 32nd on the year. Rose out of the stretch, his work from the stretch, no matter who is on the bases or lack thereof today. First pitch to Knotts. This one lifted into left field. Moving back onto this, Connor Bailey will make his way towards the warning track and the foul line. And that one caught in deep left field by Connor Bailey to end the inning. The Dogs go 1-2-3. We'll go to the top of the 5th. When we come back, it's Jefferson leading Martinsburg 1-0.
Heffley Motor Company, serving the Eastern Panhandle for over 17 years. Known for our wide variety of vehicles at great prices, we are the area's only pre-owned Carfax Advantage dealer.
Save yourself time and money. Come see us. You'll be glad you did.
And don't forget our popular detailing service. to keep your car looking brand new. We're proud to be your partner serving the community. You're local, we're local, why not buy local? Heffley Motor Company, a nice place to do business.
This is Matt Miller, along with my wife Dale.
As homeowners, we've been through the mortgage process several times, and each time we went to Mark and Cheryl Savitt at the Mortgage Center.
They treat you like family with personal one-on-one service, walking with you through the process from application to settlement.
Plus, low interest rates and closing costs.
The Mortgage Center is on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Phone 304-267-9040.
Or online at mortgagefinancing.com. NMLS number 237527, Equal Housing Lender.
Okay. Welcome back into P.O. Faulkner Park. To the top of the fifth we go. Jefferson leading Martinsburg 1-0. And Martinsburg, for the second game in a row, just trying to find a run. They have now gone a complete 7-inning game without a run, and now the first 4 innings of this one.
Well, Matt, let's check in on the Washington Nationals. Game 2 of their 3-game set hosting the Pirates, and the Nationals lead 5-0. That game now into the bottom of the 4th inning. And we will look to join that in progress when we wrap up here.
Cayman Gonzalez is going to lead it off for the Cougars. It'll be 8-9-1 for Jefferson in this half inning. It's Gonzalez, Corwin, and back to the top of the order, and Cullen Horowitz. Out of the windup, here's the first pitch from Paulson. That one outside, ball 1. This is the second time we've had 8-9-1 due up in an inning. This was the same 3 that were due up to start the 3rd, and that was the only half inning we've seen a run so far today. Second pitch to Gonzalez. This one sent into left field, moving back onto this Sifford, and he makes the play for out number 1.
Boy, that was an adventure for Landon Sifford, who kind of turned the wrong way, then got himself turned the right way, then was able to regain that footing, if you will, very close to stumbling, as he then was able to take a few steps, reach up, and make that catch.
And you got to remember, that's not the natural position for Landon Sifford. He started the season behind the plate, but Matthew Hasanovich hitting the ball so well, the Coach Byler saying, hey, we got to get him into the lineup in some way, shape, or form. He can catch, and Sifford, a good enough athlete, we can stick in left field. So I'm sure still trying to work out the nuances of playing left. Orwin has to bail out of the way as the first pitch to him misses inside, ball 1.
Almost wore that one. That was a breaking pitch. That would have been 1.
Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That fastball right down the heart of the plate for strike 1.
You know, take the hit by pitch. 6 hit batters so far on the season for Joe Paulson. Has not hit anyone in this one.
Lucas playing in at third base as this one sent to center field. Coming in onto the shine Knotts, and now will leap up into the air as overran it just a bit, but able to make the play for out number 2. And with 2 outs, nobody on, I would imagine that we will see Cullen Horowitz intentionally walked as Dave Boyd going to look over to the third base dugout, and no signal yet. And you can see Byler talking to his coaches right now. And it appears that Dave Boyd gives some extra time. I think he's anticipating this, but no, they're going to pitch to Cullen Horowitz. Horowitz 0 for 1, and now we get the intentional walk. So maybe a little head games being played down the third base dugout.
You saw Kurt Zarnecki starting to go through a series of signs to the catcher Matthew Hasanovich. You wondered if maybe they were setting up, okay, here's the pitches that we want, here's what we want you to do, and at the last moment, Aaron Byler rises up off of the bucket. Excuse me, Mr. Umpire, give him first base.
So Cullen Horowitz stands at first base right now, his second time reaching first today, and in the last 2 at-bats hasn't seen a pitch. First pitch to Connor Bailey, outside for ball 1.
So that means
he's
Horowitz
been intentionally walked 5 times now in the last 2 games.
1 for 1 with a 2-run home run and 5 intentional walks.
1 for 2. He's still to start this game.
Thank you.
Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Connor Bailey. That one inside, sliding over. A good job by Hasanovich to keep that one in front. Horowitz at first base. Count 2-0 to Bailey, the number 2 batter in the order. Reagan Ollinger in that on-deck circle.
Yeah, that fly ball into pretty shallow right field, really, as Isaiah Morris came in to make the catch to retire Horowitz back in that first inning. So, as you said, 1 for 2.
Here comes the 2-0 pitch. A fastball right down the heart of the plate for strike 1.
See, that tells you the danger of facing Horowitz. Look, he's got 10 singles this season, 11 doubles, and 16 home runs. Yeah, I mean, that's incredible when you consider 27 extra base hits out of 37 total hits.
Breaking ball just off the plate for ball 3. The Martinsburg faithful not liking that at all. It was a good pitch, but just off the plate. Good chase pitch. On 2 strikes, you may get Connor Bailey to chase that one. As it stands now, a 3-1 count. Here comes that 3-1 pitch. Off the plate, ball 4.
And this is where it gets hard, and that is one of the things that Coach John Lowry Sr. was hoping. You know, you put Horowitz in that top spot. You force the hand of Aaron Byler, the head coach of Martinsburg, and now after the intentional walk, you give a walk up to Bailey, and now possibly a run if Allinger can find a hole somewhere, maybe even 2.
Allinger steps in 0 for 2 on the day. Has driven in 28 runs this year. He's got 29 standing at second base right now with Horowitz. First pitch, called strike 1.
I mean, these are 2 guys in Bailey and Allinger that put the ball in play. As you said earlier, just 6 strikeouts between the 2, and that was in a combined 167 at-bats on the season.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch, that high and inside for ball 1, count even at 1. And so far, the previous 2 at-bats, Allinger saw just 4 pitches. This will be the 3rd pitch of this at-bat coming up. Paulson looks in, comes set, looks back at second base. That's where Colin Horowitz gets his lead. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That one inside, ball 2.
Very close pitch, but, I mean, again, it shows you why he struck out only 2 times. He has got the eye to be able to know where that pitch is.
Long pause as Allinger now steps back in that right-hand batter's box. The runners get their lead off first and second. It's Bailey at first, Horowitz at second. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. That one fouled off the handle. And if there's no net in front of us, one of us is making that play.
That one was more towards you. I didn't hear you call, but I was giving way to you on that one.
Well, you had time to call that one as quickly as it got back to the netting.
Hey, top of the 6th inning in softball, Washington still with that 8-2 lead over Hedgesville, playing for the softball Region 2 championship. And we have our first team in the state tournament on the baseball side, and I imagine they'll be the #1 seed, Hurricane, with the 4-2 win, and they knock off Cabell Midland 2 games to none to claim the Region 4 title.
Deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here comes the breaking ball sent the other way. Down right field, it's fair. It's trouble for Martinsburg, but it goes foul. So the Bulldog bench can breathe a sigh of relief, and for Jefferson, going to grit their teeth at that one, going, that was a good opportunity. That one off the bat, just trailing foul the entire way.
It certainly was a good opportunity. When it came off the bat, you wondered, but the more that one carried, you knew it was going to end up a foul ball. But too far away, Isaiah Morris, no chance to get over and maybe get that final out.
So the count stays even at 2. To the DH tonight, Reagan Allinger, the 3-man in the order. Here comes that 2-2 pitch, a fastball, or make that a little bit of a breaking ball. Look, fastball out of the right hand. Regardless of the pitch, it misses well outside. The count's full 3-2, and with 2 outs, both runners will be on the move. So if Allinger's able to find a gap somewhere, he likely scores 2.
Yep, dangerous situation, and Joe Paulson doing some mound work on that front slope where the land foot comes down.
Looks back at second a couple of times. Here comes that 3-2, both runners on the move, and fouled off over top of the press box. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Allinger just 2 strikeouts on the season. So if you are able to strike him out here, if you're Joe Paulson, you're going to remember this one. Big situation for both teams. Jefferson trying to either load the bases or get a couple more runs here. Martinsburg trying to get out of another jam. Check swing at the plate. Did not go around. That one misses low, ball 4.
But now with 2 outs, you've got 3 consecutive walks. The intentional walk to Horowitz, then the walk to Bailey on 5 pitches, and the walk on 8 pitches to Reagan Allinger. And we'll have Kurt Zarnecki coming out to try to settle things down a bit for Joe Paulson.
Always an interesting conversation at this point. All right, you've nowhere to put him. We're down 1-0 here. You don't want to give up a hit, but hey, get this guy out. And not an easy task as a big lefty, a big power lefty in Zach Rose, but you look at the strikeout numbers, and Rose up there tops on the team. He has 20, as does Camian Gonzalez. Gonzalez, and that was coming in. Rose has added 2 more tonight, so he's up to 22. Leading the team is Gonzalez with 1 strikeout tonight at 21.
Well, maybe that's the reminder right there. Hey, look, you've gotten this guy twice. Stick with your plan. Go after him just the same way. Don't let the runners on base concern you at this moment and time.
Meeting on the mound has concluded. The runners will go back to their bases. At first base, it's Ollinger. Second base is Connor Bailey. Third base is Cullen Horowitz.
Critical time in this ball game.
Also key for Asanovich to keep everything in front. With a runner just 90 feet away, if it gets back to the backstop, it would have to take a generous hop for Horowitz not to score from third. Rose takes a big breath and now will step in that left-hand batter's box. Play is put in by Dave Boyd, and towing the pitching rubber is Joe Paulson. Top of inning number 5, Jefferson leads Martinsburg 1-0. Here comes the first pitch to Rose. That one low inside, ball 1.
As you said, good job by Asanovich as he shifted that body over to the right, down to the knees, making sure that ball did not get through.
If Jefferson wins this one, they're on to the state tournament. Martinsburg just hoping to stay alive in a critical point of this game. This one lifted into right field, and boy, a bat flip, and watch that one go in right field. Isaiah Morris, a bases clearing home run, a grand slam for Zach Rose, his 5th of the season, and Jefferson takes the lead 5-0.
He'll go from 28 up to 32 runs batted in with that one, and he certainly enjoyed it. With the bat flip, a little bit of a sideways skip before starting into the home run trot, and the Jefferson team meeting him. Now a bat tip to the Martinsburg fans off the third base side. The grand slam home run blowing this one open, and a really tough hole to climb out of now for a Martinsburg team that, Matt, as we have talked about, has now gone 11 straight innings without a run.
That is RBI number 29, 30, 31, and 32 on the season for Rose. Now again, the man on the mound, Joe Paulson, going to have to take a deep breath and dig deep as there's still a game to play in front of him.
And again,
but that one certainly deflates the air a little bit.
All of it comes with 2 outs, and it starts with that intentional walk of Cullen Horowitz, who's in the leadoff spot. John Lowry Sr. puts him there for that very reason, to create situations like this.
A throwback over to first, trying to make sure that Rose didn't pull a Pittsburgh Pirates and miss first base. He did not. And boy, talk about what would have been a scene on the field if he is called out at first base. Here's the first pitch to Sammy Roberts. Chase that one high inside, strike 1.
And I'm not sure I understand, although I guess your first base umpire in that situation is watching that home run ball. But you would think with the 4 umpires that would be the first base umpire's call, but it wasn't. It was the plate umpire who makes that call.
The 0-1 pitch misses low and away to the right-handed Roberts. Count even at 1, 2 down in the inning. Out of the windup, here comes the 1-1 pitch to Roberts. It's a breaking ball and a called strike 2.
A good bounce back for Paulson. Staying focused, getting ahead of Roberts. See if he can close out this inning.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That one high and away. Count even at 2. Infield playing back. Outfield playing just about normal depth here. 2-2. This one sent right back up the middle for a 2-out base hit. Sammy Roberts going to touch first, take a couple steps off, and then retreat back to the bag. And now with 2 outs, the first 2 were Camion Gonzalez and Peyton Corwin. Both of them flew out to the outfield, 1 to left field, 1 to center field. An intentional walk to Cullen Horowitz, back-to-back walks to Connor Bailey, Reagan Ollinger. A grand slam for Zach Rose deep to right field over that 305 wall. And now a 2-out single for Sammy Roberts. The batter now, Sam Wabnitz. First pitch low and away, ball 1. Again, good stab by Asanovich. He's been working back and forth, keeping things in front of him all night.
And now the 8th batter to come to the plate in this 5th for Jefferson.
1-0 pitch. That one does catch the corner for strike 1.
Matt, you look at it and you consider that you already had the out at second on the fielder's choice ground ball back in that third inning. Technically, all 5 runs have scored with 2 outs in this game.
Well, it's a ground ball to the left side. Reisenweber up with it, and late covering second base is Clement. Reisenweber had a double clutch, a little bit of a pump fake, but the side is retired. But a big, mammoth home run for the big lefty, Zach Rose. A grand slam, scoring Horowitz, Connor Bailey, and Reagan Ollinger along with him, touching them all on his way around. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Martinsburg's got some work to do if they want to live to see another day. 5-0 is the Jefferson lead. We're back after this.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
WVU Medicine introduces a new minimally invasive hysterectomy surgery to our area. V-Notes is an advanced gynecologic technique that provides many benefits to patients, such as shorter hospital stays, less post-operative pain, faster recoveries, and no visible scars. Dr. Aaron Miller and Dr. Lori Tucker with WVU Medicine OBGYN in Martinsburg are the only OBGYNs in the Baltimore, Washington metropolitan area currently offering this cutting-edge procedure. WVU Medicine, the future of surgery is here.
Welcome back in to P.O. Faulkner Park. Riley Vidaz getting some quick instruction from John Lowry Sr. before going back for the final warm-up pitch for Zach Rose. And you got to think on the mound, Rose has got quite a bit of momentum after he hit the moonshot grand slam to right field that broke this one open. It is 5-0 Jefferson, and Martinsburg is down to their final 9 outs of the season.
Well, and again, just have to find some way to get some offense. There's still just 1 hit in this one after being held to 6 hits yesterday. They've put together a pair of hits in the same inning only once over these 2 games, and that was a couple of hits in the 7th inning yesterday, but it wasn't enough to get a run in, as one of those was an infield single.
Leading off for Martinsburg is Michael Lupus. Asanovich in the on-deck circle, and Sifford in the hole. First pitch to Lupus, that one low and away for ball 1. So far today, 0 for 1 is Michael Lupus in that 8th spot in the order. Rose comes set out of the stretch. Here comes the 1-0 pitch, a fastball, swing and a miss. Lupus again behind that one just a bit.
Right now, Zach Rose making his bid to be the player of the game.
Oh, no doubt about it.
You look at what he's done on the mound with 7 strikeouts and giving up just 1 hit and then a grand slam home run. Yeah, they're where they are right now in this one because of him.
The 1-1 pitch, a called strike 2 on the outside corner. Rose quickly getting the pitch he wants. Now comes set ready with that 1-2 pitch. That fastball high outside, ball 2.
Boy, the power numbers continue for this Jefferson team.
Rose ready with delivery. Here comes the 2-2 low. A good stab by Riley Vidaz, and the count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
The home run, the 30th of the season for the team as a whole.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch, the payoff. Called strike 3. And Lupus goes down on strikes for the 2nd time today, the 18th time of the season. And 8 strikeouts now in the game for Zach Rose.
Yeah, borderline pitch. He thought it was going to miss high, but we've seen that kind of high strike all throughout the course of this one. And one I think you probably need to try to put the bat on.
And it's the awkward part of the game where, hey, there's 3 balls is the count, and you got to try to get base runners any way you can. So there's a fine line between chasing one, just trying to put contact on it, and going, hey, I'm a pitch away from getting on first base with nobody out. Matthew Asanovich, now the batter, takes ball 1 inside. Ready for that 1-0 delivery. Here it is from Rose. That one low and away. Again, bouncing right as it gets to the catcher, Riley Vidaz. The count quickly, 2-0. Asanovich, a ground ball out to Finn Horowitz to end inning number 2. Stranded a runner on third. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. That a called strike 1.
5 straight batters retired now by Rose after issuing the 2-out walk back in that third inning.
Here comes the 2-1 pitch. That a called strike 2. So Sonovich, after launching the first 2 out of the zone, has now launched the last 2 find the strike zone. Both tough spots to hit. See what Rose comes back with here on the 2-2. That one off the plate, ball 3, so back-to-back batters. Now a full count from Zach Rose.
Yeah, Vidaj didn't even try to frame that one.
Ready with the payoff pitch. Here it is from Rose. This one off the end of the bat. Just fighting off and sending it over towards the first base dugout belonging to Jefferson. And let's do that 3-2 again.
Yeah, Sonovich fouling off a couple of pitches in that first at bat before eventually grounding out to second. So he's done a nice job making contact, staying alive, putting it in play.
Here comes the 3-2, a fastball, swing and a miss, and Sonovich goes down on strikes.
Well, as I say, he's been putting it in play. He becomes the 9th strikeout in this one for Zach Rose. And again, we go back to the what would have been pregame interview with Aaron Byler, and he talked about 9 Ks yesterday and leaving 11 on base, and he said we can't have that today. Well, they're now up to 9 Ks, and while they haven't left 11, they have left 4 and 2 in scoring position.
Back to the top of the order, it's Landon Sifford. First pitch he sees. Misses low and inside for ball 1. Rose comes set out of the stretch. Again, has been in the stretch the entire game. Has not used the windup once. Sifford takes a cut at this one and fouls it off into the netting just above our heads behind home plate. Sifford looking for really anything to try to put in play. It has been a tough 2 games for him. 4 strikeouts combined through the first 2 games in that leadoff spot, and really has been very productive in that leadoff spot for the better part of the season. .297 batting average coming into today's game. Ready with the 1-1. Here it is. This one lifted into foul territory. Not sure anybody's going to have a play on it as it does get out of play back over towards the softball field. Count now 1-2 to Sifford.
Had the spectators moving around a little bit. I don't think anyone was trying to catch it. I think everyone was kind of trying to get out of the way.
Didn't see anybody go around the back of the fence to get the Zach Rose home run ball, but I would assume, knowing his dad from the past couple years being down at Sager Field, I assume he's probably holding on to that one. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and Rose strikes out the side. A grand slam to make it a 5-run game in the top of the 5th inning, and then strikes out the side in the bottom of the 5th. We'll go to the 6th inning when we come back. It is 5-0 Jefferson leading Martinsburg.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078.
2 innings to go here at P.O. Faulkner. If Jefferson gets the win, it is on to the state tournament for the Cougars, and Martinsburg looking to claw their way back into this one. They need a win to force a decisive winner-take-all game tomorrow. 6 o'clock would be the first pitch at Sager Field, but right now Jefferson clearly in the driver's seat, all the momentum belonging to the boys in maroon and gold. As we go to the 6th inning, back in with your play-by-play, Matt Miller.
Matt, thank you very much. Finn Horowitz out of the number 7 spot in the order to get it started, facing Joe Paulson. 88 pitches, 46 strikes through 5 for the Martinsburg starter, and the first pitch to Horowitz, slow and away for ball 1. So if Jefferson holds on for this victory, how do you seed the 4 in the state tournament. Ground ball back up the middle, glove behind the second base bag by Jack Reisenweber. The shortstop moving to his left, able to continue on and make that throw to first. And Horowitz on the 1-0 grounds out 6-3.
I would imagine if Jefferson goes on for the win, they probably get the 2 seed.
You've got a 30-3 Bridgeport team that is vying for that 2 seed as well. I mean, it's going to be a tough decision. It's going to be a good tournament.
It is. It certainly is.
We already know Hurricane has advanced, a 4-2 win over Cabell Midland today after a 7-2 win yesterday. Fastball up and away to Camion Gonzalez. That is ball 1. Or is that Camion Gonzalez? It is not.
That is a 44.
So we have a different hitter standing in. So a 4-4, and that's Isaiah Morris, who is getting a chance to swing the bat. And he takes this one that misses. Should be, I believe, 2 balls and no strikes now with Isaiah Morris standing in. He swings and fouls it to the backstop. Should be 2 balls and a strike.
That's what I have on my sheet as well.
So let's take a look at the numbers. How has Isaiah done on this season? 6 hits in 30 at-bats. Takes this one down low and outside. 3 balls and a strike. Does have 5 singles. And has also hit a home run. 8 runs driven in. Swings and pops this 3-1 pitch up on the right side of the infield. Hudson Clement, the second baseman, able to make that grab. It was in about the middle of the dirt between the infield grass and the outfield grass. Just kind of planted underneath of it and waited. So 2 down, bases empty as Isaiah Morris pops out. By the way, we now have an Isaiah Morris in the game for each team.
Yep. Had that a couple times this year. I think Morris has gotten a couple of pinch hits against Martinsburg. Some action now down the right field line in the Jefferson bullpen. I believe that's Daquan Shipe. It's one of those tossing.
Does he come in now, or are they getting him ready for later? I would have 88 pitches right now for Zach Rose, so 20 for him as Corwin stands in. That's Peyton Corwin, right fielder and number 9 hitter, and bunts foul up the third baseline for strike 1.
And I am wrong, it is Camion Gonzalez. So it may just be a case they're trying to get him some pitches because he's going to go back out in the field. So if the time were to come where they need somebody to come in relief, he's the guy to do it. Not going to have a whole lot of time to warm up except in situations like this, hence the pinch hit situation.
Hence, yes. 1 ball, no strike pitch. That one misses high. Excuse me, the 0-1 pitch misses high. Now it's 1-1. 2 outs, nobody on. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch due to Corwin, who will take strike 2 on the outside edge. He walked and scored back in that 3rd inning, lined out to center in the 5th inning. The left-hand batter awaits that 1-2 delivery. Swing and a miss at the breaking pitch. Good pitch from Joe Paulson. Side is retired in order. And that will be strikeout number 7 on this ball game for Paulson. Martinsburg in need of runs. They trail 5-0. They'll have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th after this.
This is Ben Copenhaver, your local alarm professional at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Did you know that home break-ins are 6% more likely during the day? That's right. The bad guys know when you're away, and they are smarter than you think. Dynamark Atlantic Security has the security solutions for you. Don't commit the error when the game is on the line. Phone me today at 304-671-2158 to learn how to play good defense against the bad guys. Dynamark Atlantic Security. Call today at 304-671-2158.
Heffley Motor Company, serving the Eastern Panhandle for over 17 years. Known for our wide variety of vehicles at great prices, we are the area's only pre-owned Carfax Advantage dealer.
Save yourself time and money. Come see us. You'll be glad you did.
And don't forget our popular detailing service to keep your car looking brand new. We're proud to be your partner serving the community. You're local, we're local, why not buy local? Heffley Motor Company, a nice place to do business.
Well, Martinsburg still looking to dent the scoreboard for the first time in this regional final series. Shut out yesterday down at Seger Field by a 7-0 count and trailing 5-0 in this one. And Matt, of all things, through 6 at-bats, Jefferson has scored their 5 runs on just 2 hits. One of those a single, the other a grand slam home run following 3 straight walks, including 1 intentional.
And baseball will keep you humble, won't it? You look at this Martinsburg team and finishing the year, they were playing just about as well as anybody in this region. And when the playoffs hit, you talked about the difference in runs they were scoring from the regular season once they got into the sectional, and just a different team than what we saw throughout the month of May.
Trying to get things started, Hudson Clement facing Zach Rose, who delivers a fastball perhaps off that outside edge, but a swing and a miss by Clement, 0-1. He reached on catcher's interference in the first inning and then struck out looking at a 2-2 pitch in the third. He'll take this one down low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jack Reisenweber and then Isaiah Morris due next. This could be the final at bat in the season for these guys if they can't get something going. So this is the time when Martinsburg really wants to make something happen with the 2, 3, and 4 guys up. And here's a fastball missing outside for ball 2. Checking in on St. Albans and Oak Hill. That's 6-3 St. Albans with the lead in the top of the 6th inning in that one. This pitch down low, getting away from the catcher, Riley Vadaz. 3 balls and a strike.
And for Martinsburg, they're looking for their first base runner since the 3rd inning. It has been 3 up, 3 down the last 2 innings. A 2-out walk for Jack Reisenweber in the 3rd inning was their last base runner.
Yes, 7 straight retired. Clement on the 3-1 pops it up. Shallow center field. Second baseman going out. Right fielder coming in, and it's the right fielder, Peyton Corwin, who was able to call off Finn Horowitz and make that grab.
And that's a good job by Peyton Corwin coming in and making that play. Finn Horowitz going back and had to work around the second base umpire, Buck Hoffmaster. And Hoffmaster has got to stay where he is, where he's got to stand to be the umpire at second in this situation. But Horowitz trying to work around him. You can tell just didn't have a great read on the baseball, didn't have the right footing to go back and make that play, and the speed of Corwin to come in from where he's playing right now to make that catch.
So Jack Reisenweber batting, nobody on with 1 away. He'll send one high and deep into that gap in right center field. It's a long run for everyone, and Corwin cannot get there. The right fielder reaching up, has it go beyond his reach, and 1 hop off the fence. Corwin and Wabnitz both there, and able to get it back in to hold Reisenweber to the 1-out double, his 2nd double in this one.
And see if that gets a little bit more energy in that Martinsburg dugout. That's the 2nd double of the day for Jack Reisenweber, and he really has been the offense to this point for the Dogs.
His 14th hit. 14th double. I should make sure to clarify that. 14th double on the season.
39th overall hit.
Yeah, 39th hit. So now Isaiah Morris, the batter. Morris was intentionally walked after a double with 2 outs back in that 1st inning. They will not walk him here. They'll let him swing. And the pitch down low and outside for ball 1. Down 5-0. Martinsburg trying to find a way to get into this game and stay in this best 2 out of 3 series. Here's a pitch down low. 2 balls and no strikes. That one getting away from Vadaz at the last moment. Heads up base running as Reisenweber goes to 3rd. Didn't look like it was going to get that far away from Vadaz, but just kind of had trouble really getting to it.
Good read down for Reisenweber to be on the move with that pitch low.
Now that 2-0 pitch, and it's a bouncer towards the first baseman. It'll stay a fair ball. Roberts will field it and then step on the bag, but the ground ball out does bring Reisenweber home and snaps that scoreless inning string as Martinsburg has a run, trailing 5-1.
12 1/3 innings. They had gone without scoring a run, and a much-needed one at this point in the game because they're running out of time and still running out of time. Still a hole to dig out of. But it all starts with the first run coming across the plate.
29 RBI now for Isaiah Morris, the junior right fielder. Gets the run in, but 2 outs. The base is empty now for Caleb Edwards to try to start it all over again, and he swings through a good fastball. Edwards 0 for 2, a strikeout and a pop out in foul territory to the first baseman. So a run on the board for Martinsburg, but needing at least 4 more. Swing and a miss by Edwards. Counting out 0-2. Throw back gets away from Rose, who will move over into the grass towards the third base bag and pick that baseball up. When we wrap up here, our goal is to get you to Nationals baseball, hosting the Pittsburgh Pirates. Tell you where that game is after this 0-2 delivery. Here it comes, a swing and a miss, and he's down on strikes. So Edwards striking out, the 11th of this ball game now for Zach Rose. Martinsburg does get a double with 1 out. The runner moves to third on a ball that got away from the catcher, and then a ground ball out brings in a run. But Martinsburg will need more as we head to the final inning of regulation. Your score, Jefferson 5 and Martinsburg 1.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is prevent, promote, protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
Well, we will have a new pitcher for the Martinsburg Bulldogs as the Jefferson Cougars come to the plate. Top half of inning number 7, final inning of regulation. It is Jack Reisenweber who will take over for the starter, Joe Paulson. Paulson going 6 innings, allowing 5 runs on just 2 hits. We would have him at 7 strikeouts, but also issuing 6 base on balls, albeit a couple of those were intentional walks. And you go back to that 5th inning when Jefferson, first 2 batters, the 8 and 9 hitters were retired, but then the top of the order, Cullen Horowitz, was intentionally walked. The next 2 batters drew base on balls as well, and then Zach Rose cleared them with the grand slam home run, and that's the difference in this one.
Matt, defensive changes. Looks like Hudson Clement going to bounce over to short, and Carson Buber going to come into play second base.
So there you go. Buber at second, Clement at short. Lupus stays at third with Edwards at first. You still have Sifford, Knox, and Morris in the outfield from left to right. Matthew Asanovich behind the plate. Joe Paulson giving way now to Jack Reisenweber. Check his numbers on the mound this season as he gets ready to go to work facing Cullen Horowitz, and looks like Martinsburg's going to go ahead and pitch to him in this situation. First pitch to Horowitz, and the fastball is down low. That is ball 1.
Reisenweber on the year. This will be his 12th appearance, 22 2/3 on the mound, a 3-2 record.
1-0 delivery. That fastball down low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
25 hits, 20 runs, 12 of those earned, 19 strikeouts, 15 walks.
Reisenweber kicking some dirt around on that front slope of the mound, trying to get his position as he lands. Pitch to the plate, a fastball very sharply lined foul off the first base side.
Does he hit them softly anywhere?
Never. I was thinking earlier, I looked it up. Zach Rose is 6'2", 216. Remember when he was in the box and Horowitz was down at third before that grand slam?
Mm-hmm.
Here comes that 2-1 delivery. Swing, and this one hit in the air into right center field. It's sinking quickly. Shine Knotts heading over, diving in the center fielder to his left on the dive. Couldn't make the grab. Isaiah Morris backing up the play, getting it in, but not before Horowitz gets to second on what will be his 12th double of the season.
Inside out hitting. That one, again, not hitting the sweet spot. Really in on the hands, but just able to muscle that one and trailing away from the center fielder, Shine Knotts, and Morris not able to get over there quite quick enough. Good effort by Shine Knotts in center field, just not able to make the diving play, and now we're going to have a pinch runner. I'd say number 11 going to second base. I think that's Kellen
Kinsler.
There's a Kisner somewhere.
There is at Hedgesville.
Yeah, that's it.
So this one is a Kinsler. Kellen Kinsler taking over. This would be a pinch running role. You know Horowitz will return to play defensively at third when Martinsburg comes to the plate in the bottom of the 7th inning. Getting back to there when Rose was standing at the plate, and you know his size. I mean, 6'2" and 219 is certainly not small. As the pitch to the plate to Connor Bailey, taken for ball 1. He squared around and showed bunt, but then you looked down that third base line and saw Cullen Horowitz and went, he is big. I mean, he's listed at 6'3", actually 6'4", but 245. And pounds the baseball, no doubt about it. This pitch, a little up and in, and I think that was a defensive bunt attempt by Bailey. And that one going through to the backstop. Did he make contact?
He did. It's foul ball at the plate, and I think it may have nicked Asanovich on its way back.
Yeah, I believe so as well. Scoreboard says 2-0, but I believe it's 1-1, and we'll get the official signal, I know, coming from Dave Boyd, who's going to take a moment and check on Matthew Asanovich. Yeah, he is walking it out, stretching it out. I think he is good to go. We'll get back to action with a runner at second and nobody out, and Connor Bailey awaiting the next pitch. Big run in scoring position out at second. It is 1 ball, 1 strike. As Bailey steps back in. Reisenweber ready. Shortstop Clement ducks over near the runner as the pitch to the plate is grounded back up the middle. It'll get into center field. There it is, a base hit for Connor Bailey. RBI number 21 on the season as Kellen Kinsler, who was at second, comes around to score, and Jefferson gets back that run that Martinsburg gained in the bottom of the 6th inning, and now a 6-1 Cougar lead.
Good piece of hitting right back up the middle, sent it back where it came from. And Bailey continuing just getting on base any way he can. Reached on an error in the 1st inning, walked in the 5th inning, wedged in between there, reaching on a fielder's choice and getting all the way to third. Now a single. He has been getting on any way he can.
Reagan Allinger stands in. He is 0 for 2. Drew a walk his last time up. Runner on the move. Pitch to the plate. Misses inside for a ball, and the throw down is not in time. Bailey on the head first dive is in with the steal of second. Out to Allinger at 1 ball and no strikes. He has had a bounce out to short, a fly out to right. Last time up walked and then scored on the Zach Rose home run. See if we got a final yet in softball. Pitch to the plate, bunted right back towards the mound. Reisenweber down off the mound. Fields throws high. Caleb Edwards leaps into the air but comes down with that foot on the bag. Allinger is retired on the sacrifice. First out of the inning, and it sends Connor Bailey down to third.
And throw a little bit shorter from there than it is from shortstop.
So the sack bunt and the out goes 1-3, and now Zach Rose, the hero of this one, struck out 11, given up just a run on 2 hits, and has delivered a grand slam home run, and he will take this one a strike on the outside corner. Was 0 for 2 before that grand slam, but who remembers 2 strikeouts when you hit it out of the yard to score 4? Here's a pitch down low. Now at 1 ball and 1 strike. It has gone final in softball. Washington is your Region 2 champion. They defeated Hedgesville by an 8-2 score. Pitch to Rose, working outside. Now 2 balls and a strike.
All right, here's our question for Miller time.
Okay.
Who pitched for Washington?
All right. Let me go to the stat page. Maddie Ruffner.
Okay.
Yep, struck out 12 in 5 innings, gave up just 2 hits yesterday. We wondered would they come back with her to try to close it out. They did, and she did, as Washington gets the win. Rose fouls the 2-1 to the backstop, 2-2. So there you go. Washington will make their way to the girls softball state tournament after the 8-2 victory. Should push their record now to 25 wins and 3 losses on the year. Reisenweber with a 2-2 that is outside. It's gone full 3-2. Pretty strong season for Washington.
By the time you're talking about regional champions, there aren't too many seasons that aren't pretty impressive when you're looking at records for those going down to the state tournament.
Time being taken at the plate as Rose steps out.
The comment following the regional champion usually is, yeah, they had a pretty mediocre season.
3-ball, 2-strike pitch, missing high. That is ball 4. Rose draws the walk and will take first. Let's see if they have someone run for him.
They will.
In this situation.
It's like a 3 coming in. Thought it was a 3, but that would be Reagan Ollinger.
Yeah, I was going to say that might have been a 31, 30-something.
Not a 30 on the roster.
Not what I have. There is a 34 on the roster here, a Ryan Hefner. No, pardon me, that would be an Austin Young, who's listed as a junior. So maybe that is him. I couldn't tell 2 numbers on the back of that jersey or not. First pitch to Sammy Roberts, high and away, ball 1. He's not going to turn enough for us to see 2 numbers. It is a 34. I caught it. Austin Young. We believe that runner at first. I'll say we believe because I'm not 100% sure. But close enough that we'll say his name. That one was a strike as the count evens up 1-1 now to Sammy Roberts, who has struck out, walked, and singled. He awaits the 1-1. Here it comes, fouled back into the netting just to the right of our broadcast position. Now at a ball and 2 strikes. So just 1 out in the inning, a run in. And you've got runners at the corners. And I wrote Austin in the wrong slot on my score sheet. I have him running for Roberts, who isn't even on yet.
You predicting the future?
Well, let's find out.
Time called at the plate is Asanovich and Rosweber apparently not on the same page.
I did find a sports almanac from the future.
Did you get it back in the 50s when you went back in your DeLorean?
1 ball, 2 strikes to Sammy Roberts. Here's that 1-2, a breaking pitch, a swing and a miss. The runner Young takes off for second and goes in with a feet first slide, no throw, as Roberts goes down looking. Second time he has struck out in this one. First strikeout for Reisenweber. 2 down in the inning, but 2 in scoring position for Sam Wabnitz. Wabnitz 0 for 3. Pop out to second. 6-4 fielder's choice and a strikeout in between. He'll ground this one too short. Hudson Clement has it, and the throw to first is in time to get him. That out recorded 6-3. The side retired, but an insurance run is added for Jefferson. We are headed to the bottom of the 7th. Final at bat for Martinsburg. They will have the 6, 7, and 8 hitters do with your score. Jefferson 6 and Martinsburg 1.
All right, Matt, when it comes to flooring, you can't beat luxury vinyl. It's waterproof, easy to clean and maintain, extremely durable, and looks great.
Are you nuts? Hardwood flooring's the way to go. It's durable, easy to maintain, matches every decor, and increases the value of your home instantly.
All right, one thing we can agree on is Tripp's Floor Sanding and Berkeley Fashion Flooring. They'll take care of you with great selection, service, and pricing.
Whether it's hardwood or luxury vinyl, call Tripp's at 304-229-7009.
Or visit trippsfloorsanding.com.
WVU Medicine introduces a new minimally invasive hysterectomy surgery to our area. V-Notes is an advanced gynecologic technique that provides many benefits to patients, such as shorter hospital stays, less post-operative pain, faster recoveries, and no visible scars. Dr. Aaron Miller and Dr. Lori Tucker with WVU Medicine OBGYN in Martinsburg are the only OBGYNs in the Baltimore, Washington metropolitan area currently offering this cutting-edge procedure. WVU Medicine, the future of surgery is here.
We go to the bottom half of inning number 7. Martinsburg needs a rally in a big, big way. And it looks like Zach Rose will come out to see if he can close it out. He'd have to do it in 10 pitches, Matt. We have him right at 100 exactly to start this bottom of the 7th.
His low number in pitches in an inning today has been 12. You would imagine that Martinsburg is going to come out swinging the bats.
First pitch to Jake Zittel. He swings and sends a fly ball into right field, and Corwin is under that one and makes the grab. Well, 1 pitch, 1 out. That will certainly help Rose to be able to continue in this one.
Yeah, 9 to get through 2 batters sounds a whole lot better than 10 to get through 3 batters.
A tough way to close out the season for the Bulldogs. We were here on their senior night. What was it? 4 seniors recognized, 2 here in this starting lineup tonight. A very strong season, 22 wins. Looks like 9 losses will be the final record. The pitch on the inside corner for a strike to Shine Knotts. 0-for-2 with a strikeout and a fly out to left. Fly out to left was deep down the line, by the way. Looks at this pitch low and outside. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, it took Bailey about as deep into that left field corner as possible.
Yeah, was catching it on the warning track. I think it was foul, honestly. It was just stepping over the line into foul territory as he made the grab. The 1-1 is a strike on the inside corner. Now 1-2. Knotts will take a little walk out. He's one of those 2 seniors along with Reisenweber in this starting lineup. He's ready in that 1-ball, 2-strike pitch, and that went just a bit high, and it's 2-2.
Peyton DeMarco, Isaiah Santabria, the other 2 seniors for the Dogs this year.
Knotts awaits, and the 2-ball, 2-strike pitch on the way. That one a fastball low and outside. Now 3-2. Now you start thinking of that 110 pitch count. He's going to have to set the side down in order if he's going to be able to finish this one out, maybe.
He's done so 2 of the last 3 innings.
3-ball, 2-strike delivery, fouled off the end of the bat to the backstop. Holds at 3-2. So 7 pitches so far. He could go up to 10.
And no signs at this point in the game given by Aaron Byler down the third base line. Just get on base.
You know the situation.
Yeah, nothing else you can do in the situation. Just got to get on base.
Payoff pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. And Knotts is down on strikes. Strikeout number 12 we would have for Zach Rose. And he'll get a chance to close it out facing Michael Lupus. Lupus reaches, then we know that we will see more than likely Camian Gonzalez as he was warming up earlier.
And Matt, this is going to be one to remember for Zach Rose.
Oh yeah. Yeah, to pitch a complete game, to hit a grand slam home run, a very vital part of what right now 6-1 lead, could be a 6-1 victory. Oh yeah, he'll remember this one. First pitch low and inside to Lupus. 1 ball, no strikes. Next delivery, fastball high. 2-0. Now's the hard part, controlling the adrenaline. You want to close it out. You want to close it out in a dramatic fashion, maybe with a strikeout, but you got to take a little something off and get it in there, and he does on this one. It's 2-1.
Yeah, it took 3-4 miles an hour off easy on that pitch.
Lupus 0-for-2, a pair of strikeouts, trying to keep the season going for the Dogs. He'll swing and miss at a 2-2 that was along that outside edge. And now Zach Rose a pitch away from Jefferson claiming the regional championship. Here comes that 2-2, and it's lined the other way into right field. That is a base hit. Michael Lupus keeps it going for Martinsburg with a 2-out single. And Rose is not going to get a chance to close this one out. That will be more than 110 pitches. And it looks like Riley Vidal is heading to the dugout, meaning he's probably going into the field somewhere defensively.
Would imagine short or second.
The handshake from John Lowry Sr. for Zach Rose, who did a tremendous job. Camian Gonzalez gives him that handshake as well, as he'll take the baseball and get ready to close it out.
And going to be met by the team, and deservingly so.
Yeah, great ball game. Great ball game. He will finish giving up 3 hits, striking out 12 and walking 3. Has given up right now just 1 run. The runner on base is still his responsibility. And a strong 6 2/3 innings, and now Camian Gonzalez takes over as he gets in his warm-up, tosses a 60-second break, and then we're back to wrap this one up Do the Dogs have a big rally in them, or will Gonzalez shut the door? We'll find out after this. It's Jefferson leading Martinsburg 6-1.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
No clues in left.
Finishing his warm-up tosses, Camian Gonzalez. He will look to close this one out for Jefferson. We gave you those strong numbers for Zach Rose. For Gonzalez, this will be his 10th appearance. All have been in relief. His ERA just 1.95 in 14 1/3 innings, has given up just 7 runs, 4 earned on 10 hits, 19 strikeouts, and 6 base on balls. And he's going to be asked to simply retire 1 batter without giving up 5 runs. Matthew Asanovich out of the #9 spot in the order, due up for Martinsburg with 2 outs, and Michael Lupus on at first, keeping this one going and preventing the complete game for Zach Rose with the 2-out single to right. Asanovich 0 for 2, has bounced out to second and has struck out swinging. Looking through the order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 9 batters in the order have struck out against Rose. Camian Gonzalez starting Asanovich with a fastball down low for ball 1.
Asanovich so far on the day, 1 for 2. Or make that 0 for 2. One of those 2 is a strikeout. One of the 7 batters you were talking about.
The 1-0 pitch, Gonzalez ready. That fastball misses high.
When Asanovich taking that the whole way, it looked like pretty much after it left Gonzalez's hand, that front foot coming out.
Gonzalez from the stretch with a runner at first. Roberts plays behind him there. Here comes that delivery, and that fastball is right down the middle, 2-1.
And clearly Asanovich wants to see a strike. Because again, even on that pitch, that front foot coming out a little bit, as he's not going to swing at the first pitch in the zone.
Imagine watching him. The Gonzalez is tough to hit against as the 2-1 pitch comes, and this one lifted in the air down the right field line into foul territory, ranging over the right fielder, getting there, reaching out, and making the grab. He caught it, and the ball game is over, and the Jefferson Cougars head out onto the field to celebrate a Region 2 championship, their first title since 2016. Jefferson now 27-3, headed back to the state tournament. Last time they were there, they were the state champions in 2016. It'll be a tough field that they will run into in Charleston next week. But, Matt, you got to like their chances the way you're seeing them playing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a tough last week or 2 of the season for them, and going through that sectional round, not the way you would have seen those games play out, but they did what they needed to do to get to the regional round, and it is going to be a tough out. Again, a bunch of tough outs in the state tournament, but Jefferson certainly going to be one of them.
We will come back and tell you all about this one as we get into our post-game show. But first, a 2-minute timeout. Your final in this one, it is Jefferson 6 and Martinsburg 1.
All right, Matt, when it comes to flooring, you can't beat luxury vinyl. It's waterproof, easy to clean and maintain, extremely durable, and looks great.
Are you nuts? Hardwood flooring's the way to go. It's durable, easy to maintain, matches every decor, and increases the value of your home instantly.
All right, one thing we can agree on is Tripp's Floor Sanding and Berkeley Fashion Flooring. They'll take care of you with great selection, service, and pricing.
Whether it's hardwood or luxury vinyl, call Trips at 304-229-7009.
Or visit trippsfloorsanding.com.
Heffley Motor Company, serving the Eastern Panhandle for over 17 years. Known for our wide variety of vehicles at great prices, we are the area's only pre-owned Carfax Advantage dealer.
Save yourself time and money. Come see us. You'll be glad you did.
And don't forget our popular detailing service to keep your car looking brand new. We're proud to be your partner serving the community. You're local, we're local, why not buy local? Heffley Motor Company, a nice place to do business.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together. Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078.
We welcome you back into P.O. Faulkner Park. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller, John Alderson on our TV10 camera, Spencer Dupuis, our on-site producer, Colin McLaughlin, our engineer, back at the studio. The best of 3 series for the AAA Region 2 Championship takes only 2 games, as Jefferson yesterday opened the series with a 7-0 victory, and Matt, an equally impressive game here today as they go on to beat Martinsburg by a 6-1 final.
Yeah, one of the things that people have been talking about, and even we've talked about, is that Jefferson really this year didn't quite have maybe that lockdown pitcher they had in the past, and you look at what they've done the last 2 days, and maybe the pitching staff's starting to hear a little bit of the questions on, will they have those 1-2 guys down at the state tournament if they make it? Will they have the 1-2 guys in the regional round? Well, they certainly did the last 2 days, and Riley Vidaz and Zach Rose, they both pitched absolute gems over the last 2 days, and what a way to end our coverage of high school baseball this year.
Yeah, it certainly has been good. Obviously not for Martinsburg and their fans the way that this one played out. Matt, they never got any offense going yesterday, and today just could not get it going either. And for Jefferson, they kind of stole a run, if you will, in that 3rd inning after a 1-out walk to Peyton Corwin, an intentional walk to surprise leadoff hitter Cullen Horowitz. That led to Connor Bailey reaching on a fielder's choice, and it was kind of a slow bouncer that took an awkward last bounce to the third baseman Michael Lupus. He threw to Hudson Clement, and when Clement decided he was going to try to turn 2 and make that throw to first, you give Corwin credit as he turned and came home. An aggressive play. The throw was not there. He scored, and it was 1-0. Jefferson in front. And then in inning number 4, wow, the first 2 batters retired. A fly ball out to left, a line out into center, and then you intentionally walk Cullen Horowitz. You don't want him to do the damage. But then Connor Bailey and Reagan Allinger, who are so good at the plate. You talked about it as we got underway, the number of walks to the limited number of strikeouts. Both of those guys draw base on balls, and Zach Rose with 2 outs delivers. The grand slam.
Grand slam over the right field wall, clearing the 305 sign in right field by several feet. And at that point you went, okay, the way that Martinsburg has been hitting the baseball, the lack of runs they've been able to produce, this is going to be tough for them to overcome, and it proved to be tough for them to overcome. What a hit for Zach Rose, who coming into that 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and really hadn't hit the ball hard yet this regional round. And talk about coming through in a big situation. You know he's got the power numbers, 4 home runs coming into the game. And the big lefty who is bound for Shepherd in the fall showing why he should be down in Shepherdstown playing competitive D2 baseballs. That was a very hard hit one over the right field wall.
So there you go. That made it a 5-0 Jefferson lead. Martinsburg would make it 5-1 with one out in the bottom of the sixth inning. Jack Reisenweber with a double. He moved on to third when a ball got away from the catcher with Isaiah Morris at the plate, and Morris would ground out unassisted to the first baseman. That brought the run home. Martinsburg on the board, but gave that run right back in the top of the seventh inning as Cullen Horowitz started the inning off with a double into right center. Connor Bailey delivered with an RBI single, and the final run of the game would score there as Camion Gonzalez would come in to close it out for Zach Rose, who got the first two outs but then gave up a two-out single, had to leave because of the pitch count rule, and Gonzalez getting a fly ball out into foul territory down the right field line ends it. Jefferson gets the victory 6-1, and they are the regional champions. Well, let's send it back to the studio, take a 1-minute timeout. We'll come back to wrap things up here as we tell you what else is going on in softball and regional baseball play, as well as find out where that Nationals game is. We look to join in progress momentarily, and of course, we'll run all the stats from this one as well. A 1-minute timeout, and then we return to P.O. Faulkner Park, where Jefferson has defeated Martinsburg 6-1.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
This is Ben Copenhaver, your local alarm professional at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Did you know that home break-ins are 6% more likely during the day? That's right. The bad guys know when you're away, and they are smarter than you think. Dynamark Atlantic Security has the security solutions for you. Don't commit the error when the game is on the line. Phone me today at 304-671-2158 to learn how to play good defense against the bad guys. Dynamark Atlantic Security. Call today at 304-671-2158.
As we come back, the Jefferson Cougars, their parents and fans all out on the field celebrating the Region 2 championship in a trip back to Charleston and Appalachian Power Park, where they will play next Thursday or Friday with a state championship game, hopefully in their future on Saturday. We will see how all of that plays out. Once again, that's Metro News coverage from Morgantown, and we will not have that coverage for you here. We'll be looking at American Legion and some Little League All-Star baseball as we now head into the summer months. Well, Matt, as we break this one down, let's take a look at some of the individual numbers, and another tough outing for Joe Paulson. His third loss of the season. I think all three have come against these Jefferson Cougars, and he pitched well enough to get a win. Just really one bad pitch, if you will, that grand slam home run.
Yeah, 6 innings on the mound, 5 runs, but on just 2 hits, 7 strikeouts. But here's the difference: 6 walks. To his credit, he gave way to Jack Reisenweber, who pitched 1 inning on the mound, giving up 1 run on 2 hits, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. On the flip side, Zach Rose was the starter, and boy, did he pitch a gem, going 6 2/3, only coming out because of the 110 pitch limit. He gave up 1 run on 3 hits, striking out 12 and walking 3. Coming in to shut the door came in Gonzalez, who went a third of an inning, no runs, no hits, no strikeouts, and no walks.
All right, meanwhile, when you look at the hitting, not a lot of it again for Martinsburg as they mustered up just 3 hits in this one.
And not a lot on either side when you look at the overall numbers. Let's start with Martinsburg, as Landon Sifford tough again in that leadoff spot, 3 strikeouts for him. And really the only offense, 2 of the 3 hits for Martinsburg were 2 doubles for Jack Reisenweber. The only other hit in the game was in the 7th inning, and that was a 2-out, a base hit to right field for Michael Lupus. On the flip side, for Jefferson in the leadoff spot, a double for Cullen Horowitz in the 7th inning after a couple of intentional walks, came around to score twice. Of course, the grand slam for Zach Rose, the difference in this game, a single for Sammy Roberts, a couple of walks if we go down the order, and including Peyton Corwin in that 9 spot in the 3rd inning. He would come around to score a run as well. Final totals look like this for Jefferson: 6 runs on 4 hits, no errors, 6 runners left on, 4 in scoring position. For Martinsburg, 1 run on 3 hits, 2 errors, 5 left on, 2 in scoring position. Zach Rose gets the win. He's 6-1 on the season. Joe Paulson finishes his season the tough luck loser. 5-3 is his record. Time of the game, 2 hours, 4 minutes.
So Martinsburg wraps up their year at 22 wins and 9 losses, third consecutive 20-plus win season. And let's be honest, I'm not sure how many people saw this coming for this young Martinsburg team. There were a ton of question marks coming in with really Jack Reisenweber is the only guy with some varsity experience. So for this team to do what they have done and to be starting 6 juniors and 2 sophomores in their 10 players starting lineup today bodes well for next year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of promise in this Martinsburg team in next year. I know right now this one's going to hurt, not finishing and not only losing in this regional round, but losing the way they did obviously is going to sting until next year. But I think a lot of promise going into that 2022 spring season. And for Jefferson, Coach Byler, I know was mentioned in the Journal, quoted saying that, look, the pressure was off them as Jefferson has kind of been the favorite to win the region since the beginning of the season. So with all the pressure on their back, Jefferson, while they labored a little bit in that sectional round, I think you look at the numbers, clearly took care of business in these 2 games to earn a trip to Charleston.
Yeah, 13-1. They outscore Martinsburg in sweeping the 2-game best-of-3 series, and the Cougars will carry a 27-3 record and a 5-game winning streak into Charleston next week. Congratulations to the Cougars. We do know at least one of the other teams that will be in Charleston. It was Hurricane beating Cabell Midland today 4-2 after a 7-2 win yesterday. So Hurricane advances to the state tournament. Last count, the game is listed as unfinished in the 6th inning between St. Albans and Oak Hill. So not sure if they got some rain down there and that game maybe had to be suspended or what has gone on there. But St. Albans has a 1-0 lead in that series. And Bridgeport and Morgantown got suspended in the 3rd inning in a scoreless game yesterday. They finished that today. Bridgeport beat Morgantown 7-3, so they'll play game 2 of their best-of-3 coming up tomorrow, and we will let you know all of the information that we have. And we do have a final. St. Albans 9 and Oak Hill 3, so St. Albans does advance. So we now know 3 of the teams that will be moving on to the state tournament. Bridgeport and Morgantown may be able to decide that tomorrow, and Bridgeport probably favored as they will have the home game in that one. Meanwhile, in softball, congratulations to Washington as the Patriots defeated Hedgesville by an 8-2 score tonight, and that means Washington is your AAA Region 2 softball champion, and the Patriots will advance to the state tournament coming up next week as well. All right, the Washington Nationals are getting close to finishing. What the heck? Let's take you there. You may as well get a chance to close out a Nationals win as they are out in front in the game that they are playing, game 2 of their series against the Pirates, and it's 6-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. They'll tell you more in the post-game show, so you'll find out what happened. But haven't been many of those Nats victories. Let's at least enjoy this one while we have a chance. All right, it wraps it up for us. Special thanks to each of our sponsors supporting our coverage of high school baseball throughout the course of the season. That's it. We are done here in 2021. Thank you to you for joining us at each of our different broadcast positions throughout the course of the year. Thanks to both head coaches, John Lowry Sr. and Aaron Byler, providing us with information and interviews for our broadcast. Thanks to Colin McLaughlin, our engineer back at the studio, Spencer Dupuis here as our on-site producer, and to John Alderton, our TV10 cameraman, and Matt Crawford, thank you. This is Matt Miller, and this is the final high school baseball broadcast for the two of us as a tandem and for the two of us as a whole.
It's been a pleasure, sir.
First official announcement, really. We'll do it more tomorrow on Miller Time. But, Matt, we made the announcement a little while back that I'll be leaving the radio side after the football season coming up, going part-time in August, and then leaving in December, heading off to the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. But a lot of folks were going, well, Matt Crawford's going to jump right in, right? No, not the case.
Not the case. Got an opportunity to take a position a little bit closer to where I grew up, so moving down to the southern Maryland area. So we'll be on the call for some Legion games throughout the rest of the summer. I'm not out of here. I'm not out of your hair yet until the end of July, but this will be the last high school official high school broadcast for the two of us, and it's very fitting, as the first game we did together was a high school baseball game, and it featured these two teams. Don't know if you remember that back in the day, but it was Martinsburg. Coach Byler's first game as the head coach of the Martinsburg Bulldogs was the first game we did together down at Sager Field. So pretty fitting, not the same location, but the same two teams. So I think it worked out well that it finished the exact way it started.
And don't tell Coach Byler, but the same result. Yeah. Jefferson getting a victory. Matt, it has been fun. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us. We remind you our final score tonight. It is Jefferson claiming the AAA Region 2 baseball championship. They get the win over Martinsburg by a final of 6-1. Until next time, so long, everyone.
You've been listening to West Virginia High School Baseball. Today's game broadcast has been brought to you by
Smallwood and Small Insurance, Thomas Miller Agent, Administrative Drive, Martinsburg. Cider Press Restaurant, Exit 5, Inwood. Trips Floor Sanding and Berkeley Fashion Flooring in Inwood. Chris Ross with Milestone Realty, Tavern Road, Martinsburg. The Mortgage Center in the Aiken Center, Martinsburg. Dynamark Atlantic Security, your local alarm professional. Ollie's VIP Northside, Veronica Drive, Martinsburg. Art McBee Insurance, Martinsburg and Berkeley Springs. D&N Auto Specialists off Tavern Road, Martinsburg. And Heffley Motors, HeffleyMotorCompany.com.
For the continued excitement of high school, college, and Major League Baseball, keep it tuned to FM 106.5, AM 740, Comcast Cable Channel 10, and online talk radio WRNR.com. All rights reserved.